Who doesn't love fingering those bums?
The bummers.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
We are tWoTcast, episode 419.
No, he does not. No. Okay.
All right, everyone, shut the up. Let's ready to record.
We like to start every show by yelling, "We are tWoTcast." Can you do that with me? On the count of 1, 2, 3, go. We are tWoTcast. Now we can start.
The Wheel of Time, re-read podcast. Explicit and R, freaking rated. Jono's the wild card, always talking shit. Joe's the straight man, he's a total dick. Tom is still obsessed with X-Men.
Previously on X-Men.
We are
You're viewing tWoTcast, the Wheel of Time re-reread podcast, now covering tWoTcast, the Wheel of Time re-reread podcast, now covering the Wheel
We're
of
covering
Time.
ourselves?
We are indeed.
All
Covering
right.
Come.
Oh.
I'm Jono. With me is Joe.
Hey, Jono. Hey.
Not Tom, because Tom's dead.
Not Tom. Who's here?
Taffy Bennington, who is...
Give her a second. She's
Hello.
trying to take a sip.
What are you sipping?
Taffy's here. Yay!
Thank you for having me back. I'm going to try to, right now I am the tWoTcast fan club rotational president for this week. So I'll be filling in for Tom this time, and I will be taking notes on the meeting, and I took notes for the reading, so I can contribute in a more meaningful way this time. Thank you for having me. Hello.
Hi, Taffy.
Hi.
I guess we should tell everybody Tom's going to be gone, which we said last time, but we didn't say that Taffy is willing to come on and replace Tom for a little while. So we'll see.
Which is Good.
How long does it take before
Yes,
she gets annoyed by us and leaves?
20 minutes.
Or I get
20
booted
minutes?
out.
Booted out, yeah.
Yeah,
you
I
know
can
our
keep
Never
it.
in a
stance on
million
women.
years.
I'm gonna try to
Take
do
it,
my
people.
best.
Jono.
Hi, Wadahalagasi.
Hola, amigos.
Wyatt,
Oh,
man.
happy. Hey,
Iris
Iris Bear's
Bear.
here. Hey, Iris Bear.
I do
Hi.
love the
Over
tattoos.
years. We have Trailer Gaten on the wheel. That's true. Wheel on the wheel tomorrow. The wheel. They just call it the wheel now. Is that slang? Is that the word on the street?
Is that for? Is
Wouldn't
that
it just be the dusty?
wheel?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I would call it the dust.
The Wusty deal.
The dust.
Oh, Taffy said hi.
I did
Oh,
say.
so
I said hi in
Taffy
chat.
Felix is here. Yeah. That's great news.
We're
So-
recovering tWoTcast. Yeah. Yes, Jono.
Oh, thank you. Puppets.
Yeah.
But wait, puppets?
Puppets.
Is it Ryan? Is it Dan? We don't
Well,
It could
it's
be
they're representing
it's Ryan.
both with this one, so
know.
I will address
Is
them
it
both.
possible that they are together and each one is using one part of a
Never.
keyboard?
They hate each
Oh.
other. Weird. Hey, behind the curtain, they hate each other. They wouldn't be
Which,
in the
by
same
the
room
way-
with each other if it meant saving the world.
I would watch the shit out of the Way of the Leaf Behind the Squirtin' documentary. That would be
so
one of
good.
the
They're ju-
best.
It's just two of them
Yeah.
hanging out, sitting around, drinking, getting high.
yeah. Which, by the way, on an unrelated note, that happens sometimes at JordanCon, but not this year because only half of them are going to make it. Is that still correct?
Does Ryan ever do? Ryan does it sometimes, Dan.
Yeah.
And usually yours says Dan. It's
Also,
easily
I
confused.
always love the fact that their little logo, pull it back up. It looks
Yeah.
kind of like they're behind a curtain. Like the YouTube play button looks like it's behind a
Yeah.
curtain and they're looking at each other's dicks.
I like to
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
it as the two grumpy old
Those
men in the
expressions, yeah.
Muppets.
Who are also looking at each
Oh,
other's
that's good.
grumpy old wrinkled penises.
Yeah, what else are they gonna do?
What else are they doing up in that box? It's a private box, Jono.
Taffy,
You
can
know?
you confirm that was the name of the third Walter Matthau movie that they were going to make? Grumpy Old Men's Wrinkled Penises, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was private box.
No, Private Box is a movie with my mom, and that's upsetting.
It's when a bunch of World
So
War
should
II
I eject
soldiers.
that from the VCR?
No, we should eject it from the VCR.
All right. I mean,
Grumpy
good
old
one.
penises. Which half, the puppets or the puppet masters? Interesting. Just the puppets. The brothers themselves love each other.
oh, the puppets hate
puppets.
each other.
The puppets will rip each other
It's
apart.
intriguing. That would be me.
Fascinating.
Is that the puppets themselves or just the large puppet heads with the bodies in them?
Yeah, it's just the heads rolling around, bumping into each other like bumper cars.
Yeah, they're like possessed or something.
All right, what
I've
episode
heard
is this,
about
Jono?
419. I have some exciting news.
Yeah.
I had my my first physical in a bit. Physical. So I did give blood, and it was a 3 o'clock.
Oh, so you're gonna get drunk real fast.
It's a
that what you're
3
saying?
o'clock physical because I was sick last time and I had to reschedule. So so this should be interesting. I'm off 4 vials of blood. And
That's not much. That's good. That's just
That's
enough
not that,
to.
that's not that bad.
It's good for you to give blood to get
Yeah.
rid of them.
That's just enough to
Then
just.
you can make some more.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I did was eat some fucking food afterwards, and then I started drinking. So here we go.
All right. You're going to be in
MAGA.
proper form.
Ryan's
Ryan's-
puppet is very MAGA. He parks in handicapped spaces without a visible placard.
And there's a reason why
what
we
a
all
piece
like
of
Ryan.
What an
more than Dan.
asshole.
Wait, that's bad?
Fuck that puppet.
Oh,
Yeah.
He probably
I
doesn't
still do
return
got
his
that, bro.
shopping carts either.
well, that's a piece
What
of
is
shit.
Ryan?
right
Well, I
there.
wonder what
Yeah.
human Ryan does with that puppet when he's not controlling him. Do you think he locks him in a box so he can't get out and cause fucking chaos and havoc?
I hope
Possible.
so.
Or maybe the box. Actually, the puppet's in charge of Ryan. Maybe Ryan's locked in a box.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's just-
Jesus Christ, Wyatt Man. Wyatt Man, I think I need a Wyatt Man Wild says horrible things.
Yeah.
yeah.
Grab his
Or maybe I just a
thumbnail.
blanket chat says horrible things just in case for anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody
Um,
does. It's fine. This is the place for it.
It is.
That's true.
So,
So
today's
how are you doing?
episode.
How are you? How
Oh
are you
my
feeling?
goodness.
Are you feeling okay?
Oh, I feel fine.
Okay.
Physically, mentally, apparently, there's a lot wrong with me, but that's all expected.
I
Okay.
agree.
That's good. It needs to keep
How are
going.
you feeling, Taffy?
I'm
Yeah.
doing well, thanks. Thanks
Good.
for
You're
asking.
welcome.
How about you, Joe?
Joe's dead.
I'm great now. Me and Violet were horribly sick all weekend.
Oh no.
Yeah.
How is she? Is she okay?
We're fine now. She didn't go to school Monday, but it was really just like the slightest bit of a fever, and I was like, "Yeah, you can stay home
Okay.
and watch TV with me all day."
That's awesome.
Yeah,
What'd you
but
guys
so it
watch?
really wasn't bad, but and she went today, so she's fine. But
Okay. Jono, I noticed you're not coughing, so that means you're better, right?
I'm mostly better, yeah.
Okay.
Just very exciting. Really enjoying this post-cold bullshit. It's still a little bit in the lungs, but who gives a fuck? Let's just drink and then run around.
Just kill it with
yeah,
alcohol.
you know what I like to do on top of that, Jono? Smoke.
Yeah,
Just drink
you're a
it and
smart
smoke.
man. You're
Yeah.
a smart man.
It just
Yeah.
flushes it out.
It does scare the shit out of people. Like when I first started playing soccer, just started coughing again, Violet. I love that.
It wasn't coughing. If only it was just
Okay.
coughing. It was more like water came out of both ends.
Oh dear God.
Oh,
An
Okay.
evening just went a long ass nap.
Hi,
Hey,
Glenn.
Glenn.
but yeah, coughing on people when you're starting to play soccer. Fuck yeah, that's how you start.
Oh yeah,
Watch
that keeps them back.
Yeah, that's a good defense. You're told like, hey, give them
Start
that first
running.
challenge.
You're keeping pace with somebody. Start coughing and move closer to them. They're like, ugh. And they just steal the ball.
Very excited. Could be 40 in 6 weeks. Still trying to keep up with those 20-year-olds. And failing.
You'll
Anyway,
smoke them.
no, I will
You're
not.
so old, Jono. How did that
How old
happen?
am I?
Well, if you're getting old, that means I'm really old.
And how old's Tom?
Very old. Shit.
He's a fucking ancient piece of shit. And he's not here to defend himself. Just like the tWoTcast. All right, chapter 41. Among the tWoTcast. This is
What
our
are we talking
episode,
about this week, Jono?
chapters 41 through 45 of the Shadao Razing, which is, of course, about the tWoTcast to start. Really kind of start to finish. They're pretty important
and also
characters.
spoilers for possibly the books. Definitely
And?
the books. Maybe
Yeah.
the show.
Probably
Which,
not
by
the
the way,
show. I don't
that
think
Probably
show
not the
comes
show.
out in like a
Based
month.
on its divergence from the books as a whole, I think you're pretty safe.
it's a completely whole different platform.
It is, in fact, a different platform. It's 9 3/4.
Yeah, that was the nice way of saying it, Jono.
So among
9
the
and
tWoTcast.
3/4. Literally, no one said it like that ever.
Oh, okay. I laughed at it but I'm
Yeah,
done with
it's
Harry
good.
Potter references, but I got it. I understood it.
It's not a reference.
Okay,
to
Jono,
Harry Potter.
are you going to start it off?
Yes.
I will not. I will have you do it.
Parent
Oh,
and the
really?
others are invited in by the tWoTcast.
God damn
Go
it,
on,
Joe,
Taffy.
you fucking sexist dick. Taffy, go.
He
Go on,
just
Taffy.
steamrolled right over me.
You should see
Okay.
how his wife is.
She's an
She's pretty
angel.
flat.
She's a goddess angel. That's how she is. Okay.
She looked like
So-
the henchman in Austin Powers. But go on.
That's what I was going for. Thanks, Jono.
Well, okay. I don't have a lot of details, but Ray and
What would you like to
Hila,
discuss,
They
Taffy?
recognize him because they recognize his eyes, and they're like, "Oh, it's you," and they know it's kind of trouble, but they still welcome them. And he does the whole greeting, and it's all very lovely. And then the guys that are with him, like their eyes pop out of their head because they're like, "How the fuck do you know how to greet these people and all these words and stuff?" Right?
I did
And-
love that part. Yeah.
Rand's ranting while they're bleeding about violent lives, and his wife's like, "Come on, get them the fuck in here. They're like dying right now. Can you shut up for a second?"
They're bleeding out in their saddles, and he's like, "You guys and your swords, you know what I mean? Am I right,
You
everybody?
live
Look
these
at guys
violent
and their
lives.
swords.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, they're like,
What are
all,
you
like,
doing, you
dying.
idiot? Get him inside." Oh, right.
Am I
right.
doing okay so far? Okay, now
No,
you
you're
guys
doing
do
wonderfully good.
something.
You're doing
But an
better than
opener.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's see. I might have skipped some other stuff. Oh, then after he
That's
helps
not
him, he
important.
starts talking about violence everywhere again.
Yeah.
And they get him in the wagon. Am I skipping too much stuff?
No, you're doing great. Although I
Oh.
would like you to actually skip. I want you to stand up.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, with my Wolf King sweatshirt. Oh!
Oh, shoot! King of the Wolves! It's an amazing sweatshirt.
So, thank you. Have you guys ever been to? Well, it's more of a around here thing, but have you ever heard of Knott's Berry Farm?
Where is that?
Yeah, it's a local thing.
It's in Anaheim. It's kind of like in the same area as Disneyland, but it's it started off as a farm.
So Florida.
So they still.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's like
then there was a weird Trolloc attack, and they turned it into a fortress.
Yes. So you have to scale walls and stuff to get in now. It's very. It's not as.
What's the scale? Like 1 to 10, 1 to 100?
50.
Oh, just 1 to 50.
Sense, Jono.
Yeah.
Or just 50s in general.
Yeah, just 50. I don't know what
50
that means.
to 50 scale, so
no one has ever heard Joe's wife speaking. What are you talking about, Dan?
He doesn't have a wife.
She's in most of the first 100 episodes, right?
That's
Talking.
true.
Yeah.
Just randomly saying stuff in the background.
Yeah. And then every
used
once
to
in a while we
have
hear a
such-
pew from the
He
blow up
said
doll.
not without a subtle
Yeah.
nod to signify permission.
They've moved on to finger.
That's
dance,
Jono's wife.
Which is this? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a wife? That can't be good.
Oh, it's in Buena Park, you heathen.
Oh shit. It is. It is.
Maybe she
forgot.
didn't want to confuse people with too many specifics, Dan.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I forgot. It's been a while. When the kids
a
were
while.
younger, we had passes and we would just go because it's like if there's no traffic, it's like less than an hour, And
Have
so
fun storming the castle.
yeah.
Is that what they do? Just let the kids run towards?
Well, they've got a good
Defenses,
kids
armed
section
defenses.
because it's like all the Snoopy. It's like Snoopy the Peanuts themed for like the smaller kids area. So
Mhm.
you can like it's fun. It's like you can go and it's way more accessible than Disneyland is a pain in the ass to go to, and so I don't know. It's
But I
pretty
heard
cool.
Disneyland's cheap though, right? Like super cheap.
Yeah, it's super cheap. They just let
Yeah.
people in, and then you don't have to take 3 trams to get in there and go through a bunch of security points and walk for like 2 hours just to get in the park. So
That sounds awesome. We should all
yeah.
go to Disneyland.
yeah,
Sounds super
pretty.
cheap.
It's pretty easy. It's cheap and easy to go there.
Hey, don't talk about my wife. Fucking dare
But
you.
that's what I like about her.
Yeah, me too. It's
Yeah,
Look
it's
at all this
pretty
Knott's
good.
Berry Farm talk.
Camp
Anyway.
Snoopy was awesome.
Lila's
guys have
worried
been there?
about
That's
or
so cool.
Ayla? How do you say her name?
Isla?
Isla?
Yeah,
Ila's
yeah.
Ila.
Isla's
Isla Lucy.
worried about the barbed arrow and she can't take it out. And
Yes.
she gives something for the pain to Fail that knocks his ass out.
So
But
legitimate.
before that,
question.
he hangs out for a few minutes with Fail, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
and then
some interesting
Aram came
spots
in
here.
too.
Yeah.
Do you?
I love when Aram comes in because he goes, "Get the fuck out of here, Aram!" And then he like leaves and he's like, he smiles too much. I don't like it.
Yeah.
You're like, what is you lunatic?
Did you also hear like,
Just
parents?
get the fuck out of here.
Parents' note to him is like, "Agwee's gonna be nice to die, and she'd rip your heart out if she
Yeah.
sees you again."
Yeah.
Wonderful,
power.
wonderful.
Just
quote.
like dives down his throat the second he gets in the room.
yeah.
Do you think that caused Aram to be like, fuck? Is it this plus, watching his family get murdered that makes him pick up the sword is what I'm saying. Like maybe
I think it's
Karen
just
going like,
this.
you got no chance with a Gween. That's not happening.
Right.
And I don't like you. And then he's like, well,
Yeah.
guess
Go
pick up
for
the
two.
sword.
That was the first step, and
Yeah,
I think it was the last step.
Pick up this sword and start guzzling some mustard or something.
I am so glad that makes an appearance as often as it does. I have important sex jokes.
It's his
to
first
make.
step in his trip to
Okay,
being an
what-
Arantino man.
Sex joke.
Yes.
So obviously, the Tinkers are very non-violent people. Do you think? And it sounds like for the most part they don't ride horses; they'd rather walk, that kind of thing. So it's very unlikely. It happens sometimes that maybe like a girl would have ridden a horse, right?
Mhm.
However, that being said, let's say these two Tinkers are coitusing. Is
Okay.
breaking the hymen, is that violent?
Jesus Christ.
I
I'm glad.
Never thought about
I'm
that.
glad hit like and subscribe was on right when you said that. Is breaking the hymen technically violence?
Oh, maybe
Like
they're
and
not allowed
subscribe.
to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe they're
Not
not allowed
likely a
to do like full-
BDSM fan among
Yeah,
the
that's
Chihuahua.
exactly that was so Glenn is exactly where I was going next. Of
Yeah.
like, what if you've got some sort of like that you've got some fantasies, they're a little on the darker side, which is fine. It's a fantasy, it's not a reality. Whatever you're into, it's fine for the most part. There are some no's. Like where do you go with that? With your BDSM, with your kind of like, I want to be like, just lightly hit. I don't think so. Like where does that go?
into the
here?
forest or maybe up into the trees
Into
or
the
something.
forest. Hold on, we're gonna go do some fucked up sex in the forest. It's fine.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
it's like maybe they have like a certain like scarf they can put on or some shit. You know how like they leave around the time they're 21 and they go on
like
adventure for a
Rumspringer.
little bit.
Yeah, they have,
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
they have some kind of thing like we want to go do some freaky shit in the woods hat that they have to
So
wear.
like if I'm wearing like my
hat?
yellow and red,
It's like a
if I
hat
wear
with
my
like
yellow
extra
and red-
feathers in it.
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
For some reason, I don't know why I pictured it like one
They're
of like
peacocking?
a the little German boy with the suspenders. What do you call that? Little tiny hat.
Those
Oh,
yeah. That would be perfect.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So-
thinking of.
What do you think, Jono? Do you think that sounds all right?
No safe word.
I think
Snooty?
that sounds more than all right. Yeah, no. Again, is a safe word like to a certain extent,
Lederhosen.
safe
But yeah,
word
that's
is-
the Lederhosen. But
But there's like a thing I know what you're going for. Either way, it's a Germanic little fuck, and all right, it's appreciate his service out there in the woods. Again, so many weird questions came up to me when I was like sitting here thinking about this of like, what does their sex look like?
Like
Is it the sheet with a
freaky
hole in it?
Woodstock or just you mean regular? Okay.
I don't know. It just feels like, can you eat cum? Right? It's not vegetarianism.
there's like an old Family Guy. I don't remember what
it's
Family
not.
Guy because that show's
Right.
horrible. But also, it cuts nonstop, so you can never remember what episode it's in. But there was some where it was like British people having sex, and the guy's just like, all right, there we go, and that's it. Like that's the whole clip. That's how I imagine it. That's how I imagine their sex. Not the Elmer Fudd hat.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
More
I don't know, I
feathers.
like the Elmer
More
Fudd hat.
feathers.
more feathers.
That's a hunting hat though. Do they hunt? Are they vegetarians?
No, they're all vegetarians. But what
They
do
eat the
hunt?
dogs.
Mushrooms. They hunt mushrooms.
Okay. All right.
So it's interesting here. Perrin is, of course, very much blaming himself for the massacre that happened in the last chapter. Where he lost nearly a third
And for the
of
next
his men.
chapter, and the next chapter after that, and the next chapter.
Yeah, that's
after
going to be a theme for a little bit here.
Yeah.
I appreciate that Ivan, a warder, is trying his best to pep him up. He's like, you know what?
He's like, no one
lots of
could have
people lose battles.
planned that. Like that happens to everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not your fault that you literally said your battle plan out loud to a guy who is.
You're not exactly a great captain, bro.
Right.
Just assume there's a shapeshifter and you'll be fine.
They're eating
And
the pet.
Fael is kind of making like
Oh,
a few
okay.
different notes about like, well, my dad says this, my dad said that, which of course is going to be important because he then says, well, who's your father? And he's, well, after 400 titles, it's the Queen's uncle and the Captain General. I absolutely adore the fact that we do get that here and the way that
Yeah.
she kind of reacts, because it's clearly meant for you to think maybe 2 or 3 times of who the fuck she is, or maybe even 4 or 5. And I love Davram Bashir and the fact that we finally get not directly introduced to him, but it comes up soon enough. Great character. I wish better things happened to him kind of in the later books. He kind of ceases to be a fun character to read, but he's a fantastic character in these middle books. And
Yeah, he is awesome. I can't wait till we get to him properly. But hearing about him at this point is pretty cool.
I know we've done the twat 69 stuff. Great stuff. I forget, was Bashir in those?
I have a list of what we covered, but I don't know where it is. But I think we discussed him a little.
I feel like every one of the great captains
he came
deserves to
up.
be in that because they were all excellent and then just done dirty.
We might have like touched on him randomly, but I don't think we had like a full discussion about it. And I don't,
who knows
got
his consent. Yeah. Anyway, so Fail drugs him. Oh, Bashir was at Terrence.
I like the whole Bashir family. Yeah.
Yeah,
Robin
Williams, interesting.
A little silly, but the right height, kind of like wiriness, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who do we say Davern Bashir was, Jono?
Well, there was one guy, but that's a different issue.
It's a real guy.
Yeah, it's a real guy.
I feel like we had somebody like jokingly cast as him for a long time.
It may have been mixed in our heads between that one guy because of meeting him in real life and his testicles.
I don't think so.
And Taffy, you were there.
Yeah, I was
you
there.
You saw that guy's testicles.
Yeah, and you sent me the picture of his testicles.
No, that was a different time. It happened way before that, though.
No, it was the first year I was there.
No.
Oh, no?
The actual reason we call him Bob, he just happened to still be wearing a kilt.
Oh.
It happened years before that.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Anyway, let's not talk about some guy's random ball sack.
Okay, all right.
She admits she loves him, which I thought was interesting.
Here.
Ball's here.
Yeah. I'll send those to you, though. All right, Taffy?
So they kind of like confess to each other.
I'm not looking at my phone.
No, I'm going to send those pictures to your husband.
That's fine. Please.
She tells him who her father is, but she's also like, so what's this about running with wolves? And he's like, all right, you just told me the truth. Yeah. I guess I should tell you the truth. I love how he's like, my eyes change. And he tells her all about it. And then he's like waiting for her response. And she's like, you can hear me how well exactly? I need to be more careful. It's like she's not worried about like anything.
It's so she's true to her character. It's perfect.
I need to be a little more careful around you. And then she goes, could you at least tell my mom that you're the Wolf King? And he's like, what? Like, this is not how I thought this was gonna go.
It's actually really cool. Like I really appreciate the fact that it's his first time being honest with anyone, right? I mean, Rand has to parade his truth in front of everyone. Matt doesn't really tell everyone like, hey, I've got like 5,000 memories swaddled in here.
He made like one mistake around Rand and he's already pissed at himself and he's already super careful. Let's put it that way. But you know what I mean? Like he's already like
Perrin never tells anyone else though, really, besides those who already know, like Moraine. He's pretty quiet with this truth.
I mean, almost the entirety of the Two Rivers and everyone that follows him from this point, like, basically knows. They just don't know. You know what I mean?
They don't
he doesn't
know
hide it
that
from
he
them.
can communicate with wolves.
Dude, come on. He's like running around. Wolves show up whenever he's around. They all do what he's wanting them to do. like, come on. They all know.
Mosquitoes show
Not
up
yet.
whenever
I mean, eventually. Not yet. I'm just saying eventually they're all like, we got it.
King?
Yeah, I'm the Mosquito King. Yeah.
That would actually be really helpful to have them like swarm people for you. That'd be awesome.
He's fucking incredible.
Did Brandon do Bashir wrong? Did he do Bashir wrong to you, John?
I don't know if he did him wrong. I don't know what the notes were, but Bashir sucks later on. Like the end of like.
I don't think he sucks. I think he just gets kind of like pushed by the wayside and doesn't really get used.
Well, remember,
properly.
like all the great captains have their minds poisoned, which is both interesting and at the same time
that's right.
annoying. He just doesn't have that. I don't know. Like it's not fun.
I feel like Itzarolde kind of takes his place as like the guy that we see a lot.
Exactly. Itzarolde is like you know like Captain come lately, and all of a sudden just like, reassumes all of that. Even though Davern Bashir,
I think it's kind of cool. Well, I mean, I think it's neat that you get to see like
what's
certain ones at certain times. Like you get
then kill off Bashir.
You know,
I don't know.
His name?
I'd rather them die than cease to be themselves. Like I'd rather that them like we don't have enough like interesting characters die anyway. Like we have a few, but I'd rather something like Bashir die.
Corrupted and then dies. Thank you, DK, man. Yeah,
just Fuck
I
'em
guess
all.
well, to Oliver's point though, I mean, I guess I feel like Brandon did do Besher wrong a little bit. Or again, as Jono said, we don't know if it was.
Yeah, I don't know if
Jordan
it's
had
doing him
planned or
wrong
whatever.
per se, but certainly it's like, well, this isn't the character. I like.
Again, this is one of those instances that just makes me go like, too much Andrel and Bravaro bullshit when I could have been seeing from other characters.
See?
You know what I mean?
Spoilers for the later books. Yeah, that's exactly
Anyway.
right.
Yeah.
Matt opens
Anyway.
his son to Brigitte. That's true. Yeah, he
Oh,
does open
yeah.
up to Brigitte
Oh,
later.
right. When they
But
were
in
He
the
opens
wrong
up.
language.
Well, Parent also opens up to other people later too. I guess is my point. But yeah, like eventually they all kind of like but that's truly. Matt does really truly consider her like a friend and a peer, and like tells her things versus, Plus, who
Also,
she
she's
is, I
like-
think,
yeah.
makes him more relaxed and revealing.
Yeah, I mean, he literally summoned her to the field of battle already.
Yeah,
you don't really get that with too many friendships of like,
Mhm.
I can bring you out of the world of dreams, Slayer style.
Anytime I
almost.
want with a fucking horn.
Except actually, he can't after book 5 because he's been bail fired already,
Mhm.
or dead and then on bail fired to lose that connection.
All right, well, Thael drugs him and then he goes to sleep, and then we're in the wolf dream.
A missing leaf, which by the way,
this is. I mean, I
This
think
was
even on my
just as
first read, I
heartbreaking.
was like, "That's not gonna lock that, is it?"
Nope.
Like when they put the leaves on there. I don't know. Did you, Taffy? What was your like first time around, or maybe like a reread? Were you like, I don't know. Did you when Loyal puts the leaves on the outside of the way gate? Are you like, and it's all safe, or were you like, that's gonna get fucked?
No, but it does make you understand. Loyal, like that he wouldn't want to destroy. He's already had to go against his nature, moving fast, like just keeping up with these like humans is like rattling him a little bit, and he's like,
you gotta move
I
my
don't want
legs at your pace all the time.
he probably didn't think that like there's evil humans. He's still getting used to evil, right? Like he's
Yeah.
still learning about it. Yes, so he didn't think that like there's going to be some evil humans here. They're going to come and open this shit up. He just thought about blocking them. And I think that, he says it later. He's like, I should have known. I should have just done it. But hasty fucks. Exactly.
Yeah. Hasty.
best way to
That's
be.
it. Yeah. So I don't know.
It's interesting to a certain extent. I fully
He should have
get it.
rolled the leaves up and smoked them and blow them in mac and cheese.
Hell yeah.
On
All right,
rereads,
can we-
Loyal's
I'm gonna
fucking up.
reread
Well,
the book.
so I didn't get far, so I don't have any tWoTcasts in history this week because I didn't get far enough to listen.
Today's
to our
tWoTcast in
podcast.
history is us.
Today's tWoTcast in history is Taffy replaces Tom while he's out on pregnancy leave from the podcast. We're only giving him a week.
Yeah. Also, no benefits
that's
beyond
right.
that.
I've got a sneak-
Anyway, Tom did make this point of like, but it also like Perrin recognized what he was doing and sort of almost said something and didn't, so it's kind of his fault too, even though he's like, God damn it wasn't locked, like later on. And I was like, I guess that's kind of true, but
He made a mistake. It's okay. Like they're both
Perrin
like,
Perrin also isn't like at fault simply because he doesn't know what he's talking about. You know what I mean?
Well, I want to jump backwards a moment. Tom looks very different. Tom looks much better today.
Agreed.
So
I
this
grew
is
my
a
hair
little
out.
bit of
I have to start doing this. Rubbing my head.
to go back to some of the weird sex that the Tinkers are into. This is some pretty sexual stuff here from Perrin. We get to see a little bit of what he's into. He wore neither coat nor shirt, but a blacksmith long leather vest that left him bare. So he's just like a leather daddy, right? Just wearing like a leather apron, and that's it.
Just how he thinks. That's his best self. That's how he thinks of himself.
Just leather apron in front, bare ass in the back.
just sweaty wolf dick flopping around behind a flap of leather.
Yeah, it's a very pretty image. Tom doesn't hate the TV show this week.
That's up for debate.
Yeah, I
I'll
haven't
be
gotten any
filling in
messages
that.
from it.
I'll stay true to that part. I'm not going to let them slide when we cover the TV stuff.
I'm excited for that. I am very excited for that.
I don't think I can.
We'll present a well-rounded discussion.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, but if I'm
And
covering,
point
I'm
out
going
the
to
many
make
things
sure.
that are wrong.
Yeah.
It's impossible. I read one of Tom's rants one
Perrin has
time.
enough hair to cover his body, to be fair.
I was thinking that he's probably got a bunch of much fur now.
Do you think he shaves
yeah, we used
just
to call
like
it fur
circle?
capris.
Yeah. I read one of those like rants that Tom had that you had managed to like take out, and my God, I read it to I guess my sister-in-law's husband, brother-in-law. And like the amount of just insanity that Tom was spouting about, like, I want these fucking rioters to fucking die. Like, it was so funny. Like, goddamn. Also, it sounds maybe not quite so funny when you're just saying it out loud.
No, yeah, when you read it, it's horrifying. When he said it out loud, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
When you just read it later in the cold light of day, you're like, that's kind of scary.
Yeah. It's also
anyway,
funny
dream. He's no arrow. He's not in pain.
Tom. Yeah.
He had to concentrate to keep the axe there because the hammer was there for a second.
Yeah. So he eventually follows some ravens, which is so Raven of them to show up, and goes to Manetheren, the Waygate, as Taffy was saying. And it's interesting that it's like actually open right then, technically. Although, that's actually like super creepy because you're just like, oh shit, because because of the dream world. So like one second it's closed and the next is open. It's not like it was like opening in front of him. He just like looked away and he's like, oh shit. I think it's cool that he actually can't put his hand. He puts his hand against it. He puts his hand against, and it won't.
And then he's just miming.
Yeah. It's a very interesting like why. So there is no reflection of the ways on the water. I think in Goldeneye. And I don't know. I think that's because the ways exist between worlds, and they don't have a reflection in the world of dreams is very interesting. At least
I think that's how to do truly that. Like indicative that they're not like connected to our world. You know, it's other dimensionally connected.
And yet, we kind of
like the door exists in our world, so the door is reflected in Tel'aran'rhiod, but you know. Not the actual ways itself, I guess.
What happens if you dream in the ways? Or can you?
I think you'd be dreaming in that. Maybe that dimension has its own world. I don't fucking know.
What a shitty dream world that is.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Maybe in that Tel'aran'rhiod, it's all pretty again. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Trees look at the ways. Yeah. There's trees and animals. This is wonderful. And then you wake up and you're like, fuck.
Oh, this place is
horrible.
So he again feels just something on his back and jumps just in time, swimming away his dream world.
The void space between. Oh yeah, is it like there? Is it like that? Is it the same? I guess it's not the same, but I wonder if it's like get all connected. With
so Perrin himself cannot find that void space between the dreams, right? He's never been able to like he can walk through.
No, doesn't he do that?
He's never been able to enter into other people's dreams. Like we never see that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's like to that whoever wrote that.
But he does like kind of float up above where he can like look down at the Forsaken and shit later at some point, doesn't he? With Hopper though.
Yes, with Hopper.
Yeah.
But that's already happened in the past, I think. But I think that's not necessarily that world between dreams because they're meeting.
Yeah, I guess not. Yeah.
Still, again, the chat.
He says that's just because Perrin hasn't tried. I kind of agree. I think he's just as powerful as Egwene. I don't see why he wouldn't be able to do that. I just don't think he knows.
Dreams, there's different.
Like if the wise ones trained him, he'd be just as good as her. Is what I'm saying.
Well, we see at the end he's stronger than she is. But walking the world of dreams and dreaming with a capital D are two different things. Because one of those isn't necessarily about seeing future possibilities versus walking in Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yeah.
That being said, he does actually see shit in Tel'aran'rhiod sometimes. Like if you remember, he kind of sees like looks up very like Monty Python-esque and just sees things in the sky.
Hi,
how does she know my nickname?
I mean, who doesn't? We all do.
Guess I should change it.
I like right before that though. I do like when he just thinks about Slayer being out there somewhere, and then he immediately has the bow and arrows. That's cool. Yeah. Anyway,
so Slayer's out there though. To your point.
Yeah. So yeah, the Waygate is unlocked, and somewhere. Oh yeah. oh yeah, someone or something is passing through in the real world, and then basically, I love he just feels like he's being watched, and just immediately instinctively jumps away, and an arrow hits, and he's like, "Oh shit!" This scene's actually odd. And then I love that he circles around what he thinks is clever, and then he's like, "Oh, you almost got me," and then he goes out again and circles around wider and higher, and then he's like, "There you are, you bitch," and I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Like,
Yes.
how quickly he learned from his mistake, kind of thing, and I don't know, I love that part.
And then he follows him and then almost repeats the mistake, though.
Yeah, not really. I mean, he kind
Damn it. And he chooses to wake up, but the problem is he's been drugged by his wife, or wife to be later on this book.
Well, hold on. So when he falls into the forest, I want to talk about like their conversation here.
Oh, yeah.
Slayer baiting him.
Yeah.
Slayer called
Slayer
him
baiting
Golden
him
Eyes like
into
5,000 times.
Yes.
He's like, here you are, Golden Eyes.
Oh, hello,
Nice
Golden
to
Eyes.
see you, Golden Eyes. No,
He
does
does
Golden
does
Eyes.
call him
Like,
Golden Eyes a lot.
yeah.
One of the times Perrin uses both of his brain cells. I don't know if you guys know this, but Dobie loves Perrin.
Uh,
I know. Yeah, that's true. Perrin was a hunter. Anyway, it was just, I loved that it was like, oh shit, I just made this mistake with my men and got them slaughtered. I'm not going to do it again, kind of thing. He's like, I almost expected my enemy to walk right into my trap like a dummy. It's a shame we didn't get any interactions between Perrin and Egwene in the dream world. I was waiting for that the whole series and never got. They interact.
A little bit. I don't disagree though with the idea.
Could have been more, but they interact.
The last couple chapters, I always think about when I'm drunk on this show, and then I forget things because I'm drunk on this show. But I think that I would like to have like a small list of like things that I wish actually happened. I would
right.
Perrin and Egwene definitely would like kind of comparing notes over the dream world. Yeah, with the just a weave thing. Like I would have liked more of that, and really kind of almost maybe Perrin with the actual wise ones and just like his.
Yeah, it would have been cool if they'd interacted a little bit more, just to like trade notes.
Yeah,
a little bit, and just been like, hey, you can do this. Oh, you can do that. You can do this. Holy shit, you can do that. Kind of thing. Like I felt like if I was running around in the dream world and I randomly bumped into Taffy, I'd be like, oh my god, let's talk about what we're doing in here. Like I would immediately be like,
when you saw this thing,
yeah.
That would have been fun for them because they had their they bonded early on when they left and they were together.
Exactly. They got a strong bond. You don't want to hear about that here though.
And you'd also think that like they probably would have seen, at least at a corner of their eye, like wolves all the damn time, right? Or maybe the wolves are just hidden the whole time, I guess. But like I think that would be very interesting if they like had the Aiel had knowledge of wolves in the dream, because they're everywhere. They're technically that's where they're living between.
Do they realize that the wolves were any different from any other animal in the wolf dream?
Are there wolves in the waves?
Tel'aran'rhial?
Or in the Threefold Land? I'm sorry. Are there wolves there?
I don't know if we ever see any, so I guess not. But I mean, they got coyotes out in them parts. Coyotes.
Do you think that maybe when they're dream walking, the wolves hide from them because they don't know them?
That's kind of what I was thinking. Like maybe the wolves.
But also, I don't know. I mean, 3,000 years with
don't the wolves say they avoid humans in the wolf dream?
True,
because they're dangerous in the wolf dream too.
Yes. Again, don't ruin this. I just like the idea of it.
I don't remember everything.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. Thank you.
That would be very cool.
So that's what we're trying to figure out.
Putting it in there.
Oh, Mr. Stowe said, if not for Perrin, who would I be able to talk about shit? Perrin's smart.
Good for that.
Sometimes Perrin knows he's too strongly.
He's too strongly. Everything he does is too strong. So he's
the girls were in the cities most of the time. That's true.
Yeah, but at the same time, like,
yeah,
all dreams are good. But yet it's so warm, it dries you up. It's like piss.
So he says it's a neat trick locking the waygate. If you knew how many died, Mac and Shin, you'd be happy, like you'd be celebrating, and Mac and Shin feasted up that gate. Kind of. That was fucking
fascinatingly dark, but awesome. Like
Yeah.
We're talking literally.
Also, I just
thousands.
love that he's like telling it. He's just like, I don't give a fuck if he knows. I'm just gonna tell him that shitload of Trollocs died, and guess what? Shitload of Trollocs didn't die, and you're fucked.
Yeah, shitload of Trollocs
Yeah.
made it. You're gonna kill 500 in the next chapter, and that's not gonna fucking be a drop in the
Yeah,
bucket.
I like him baiting him too. He's like, we were just here to get Fane. He doesn't say Fane, but we all know who he's talking about. But he's like, we were just here to get Fane, but now that you're here, fuck you. The Two Rivers is gonna burn.
I love
he's like, God damn it.
Like, so if you go back, like, we're here to kill Fane. Fane was there to bring Rand, like, really to the Two Rivers so he could kill him using the White Cloaks. Like, the kind of, like, onion layer of whoops on that, and then next thing you know, instead it's Perrin who becomes Lord of the Two Rivers, which, hoists a banner, two of them eventually, between the Wolfhead and the Manetheren. It's just such a, like, well, we got that one wrong. Fucking Taviran. Pieces of shit ruining the plan that we had in mind. I really appreciate the fact that the way it kind of cascaded didn't really work the way that either one expected. Taffy, what else you got?
I have Golden Eyes 10,000 times, and then I jump right to
10,000 times.
And then fail with when they're back after he wakes back up, and one of the boys is talking about, did you see the Tinker Women dance? And he's like, oh yeah, I've seen that. And fails all, you should see me dance to Cesara. It'll make your blood boil. And Isla's all, what? Like when she mentioned that, she's like,
I know what that means. And she's like, oh no, you know what that means?
Yeah, and then her face goes red, and her face goes red, and this goes the beginning of the Cesara.
I like right before that when he tries to wake up when he leaves Slayer, and then he wakes up in a real dream because he can't get out.
It's a wet dream.
And then he has a sex dream with Fael.
And she even says, you did a lot of thrashing in your sleep.
Oh, he's rough.
In the Two Rivers, they call thrashing fucking.
Well, at least he took her to some soft grass. He looked for
it was soft grass. It was soft grass. Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense.
He's not an animal yet.
Yeah, not fully.
Oh, I thought soft ground was her pubic mound.
So I was wondering.
Let me show you my lipstick dick.
Have they fucked before? Because does that count as non-consensual?
In his mind, they have.
Well, yeah.
It's very real in the wolf dream for Perrin.
Yeah, I know. So, but that was more of a regular dream, right? That was like just regular dreaming?
Yes. Yeah. No, yeah. The cum flowed either way, but yes, it was a regular dream.
Okay.
So your question, though, is a good one. Like, have they had sex in real life?
Oh, this is a great comment. I wish we could have gotten that encounter between Slayer and Fane. Imagine Slayer dragging Fane into the dream world. That would have been
so. Christian rapper.
That's pretty crazy.
Yes, that's the thing. Like, first off, why can Slayer not find Fane? Like Fane's not exactly hiding himself in his dreams.
I think he knows exactly where he is. I think he's just, using the Trollocs he has and throwing them at the White Cloaks, trying to fuck with Fane.
But why not just kill him? Like, he wants him dead.
He can't.
Why not?
How can he? Do you think Luke, on the real world, Luke could kill Fane right now?
Do you think Fane sleeps? Fane's a human being.
He slaps Myrddraal on the wall with one hand and pounds nails into their eye.
The man still sleeps. We see in book 2 that he's been fucking passed out.
All right. I guess.
Well, I know because I read it in a book.
I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't sleep. I'm just saying, like, is his power level of whatever the fuck he is right now, like, killable by Slayer in like a normal means?
Is he traveling with Byre? Is he in Byre's tent, like wherever they're hiding? Like,
he's got his own place. If you remember, he's surrounded by his
Fane change tents all the time, so no one knows where he's at.
Well,
yes,
that would be good.
Yeah,
because then, like, maybe that's why Luke can't find him because he's moving around, or maybe he did try.
Luke is used later on, like, just like randomly killing people in different tents and different rooms, different inns, different prison cells throughout the entire fucking series.
Well, that's kind of like how Varen said, she's like, I don't like it. Was it Varen or what? One of the people said, I don't like it when that guy's around. He causes trouble. So maybe that's part of his thing, is he likes to cause trouble. So if he just went and got Fane right away, he wouldn't see what happens. And maybe it's the whole hunting type of thing. So he wants him to become.
He's just
like,
toying with his
I
prey,
don't know.
Jono.
He likes to.
I mean, maybe, but he's done a really shitty job that ends up backfiring massively in everyone's face, including Fane's, ironically. So I guess that works. But I just feel, again, like, put that thing up there from, was it that last quote? Was that Lifeline and Fool? About, yeah. No.
No?
There was one
What are you
before that
looking
was
for?
just kind of an interesting character, like the idea of them coming together in the world of dreams.
Well, there's this comment. Can we keep Taffy? Tom's okay and all, but he'll jump in whenever anyway.
That's true, too.
Thank you. I'm glad
He's here
to
for
be
the
here with you
foreseeable
guys.
future.
Thank you. Thank you, Lightblind.
The answer is we love Taffy. We want her here all the time. She's just busy with life. It's ridiculous.
No.
And also,
Anyway, she's going to be
Right
here for
now,
Tom for the
Tom-
foreseeable
I'm
future.
fine.
So strap in.
yeah, and strap on.
Yeah.
Well, that's clap.
I don't know.
on, sorry.
Well, I mean, if Taffy wants that.
That's better. So what else we got in this chapter here? Again, we've got some nice. Oh, here's some questions.
Does
Stay on
Karen
this
fuck
next
a
topic.
wolf version of Faye on the wolf dream? She is biting at it. She is biting at his. First of
Yeah,
all,
when
it's
he
a
wakes
dream.
up, she's right. Oh no, in the
No,
dream,
that's
she's
in the
nibbling
dream.
at him.
She's
yeah.
biting at his beard. Yeah. Pretty animalistic.
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 So when he wakes up, they get ready to go. Will has 2 chicks on, and Ban himself has one.
Yeah.
Again, how loose? I think that's the right term we use. How loose are these Tinker chicks?
I mean, whatever they want to do.
They are nomadic. They can get they can get away,
Yeah.
you know, and
No,
not get tied
Small
down.
hands.
It's like a traveling Burning Man.
Small hands.
That's how I always pictured.
They
the
are
Tinkers.
just like hanging out, getting high, dancing every night. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
And they're
I
dancing.
went once. I went once to Burning Man one time, long time ago,
How'd that
before it
go?
got.
She wore
Yeah.
bright red skirt, neon green top, blue shirt underneath that, rainbow bandana,
God,
all kinds of bright
just
colors.
thinking of it makes my eyes hurt. Fucking Tinker bitch. Sorry, to call you
I
that,
was
Taffy.
I was
That hurt
a
me.
tourist. I was not. I was a tourist.
That's. I mean, I'd be a tourist my first time
There-
for sure. I'd just be like,
There was this girl with there was a lot of girls with no clothes on, but there was this girl with no shirt, and she wanted to hold my
now you're
snake,
talking.
and I didn't like
Well,
that.
that's
I didn't want my snake on her bare body. Like that was the only thing I was
Yeah.
like, don't
You're like,
ask
listen,
to hold my snake.
I don't know
Why don't
where
you
your
put some
body's been.
Yeah, so I let her pet him, but I was like, no, you can't fucking hold my snake.
So you brought your snake, though.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave him home. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, you
wanted
can't
to-
leave your snake at home when you're going to
Uh,
Burning Man, John. That'll be
Snakes,
so
snakes.
insane.
I don't know the snakes.
I don't know. He's just
Eh.
no, he's just a puppy. He's a snake puppy. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, the
Snuppy.
Tinkers
Mo.
just do X and dance naked.
Yeah.
and screw.
Yeah. They
Basically.
must, right? What else do they
I'm
have
just-
to do?
Right.
Pots? That's
Mending-
for
yeah,
the daytime.
They forage
feels like a-
mushrooms.
When Rain says, like, last year we went to Carrion, to Gildon, and then into Andor, like, what's your goal here? Like, that's a lot of literally back and forth. You've been doing this for thousands of years.
Mhm.
Have you found anything? Like it just it feels like you're just an aimless piece of shit at this point. Who's like, you know
Have
what? If you're
found anything,
like, where are you looking for this song? Like, it just doesn't make-
everywhere,
In
Jono.
all the wrong places.
Jump on a fucking boat and go somewhere else. Get on like a fucking sea folk ship. Go west.
Oh
go
my
south.
god,
go
if they
somewhere.
even looked on the water. I've never thought of that.
Well, apparently
The
they had
song
neither.
lives in the ocean. They're so
Oh,
stupid.
it's like an aerial thing. I get it.
Yeah.
Ariel. All right.
Yeah.
What else we got in this chapter? Because
Well,
We've
after he
managed-
actually wakes up, he's like, I gotta get to that way gate. She's like, shut the fuck up. You can't even move.
and then Fael says that the Taganza, I mean, shit, she'll dance to Sahara. which, by the way,
I
believe that's like the Macarena, right? It's like the ultimate sexual thing.
Yeah, the Macarena.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just love her fascination with him throwing that word around and stuff. It's so funny. Because if she ever actually had to do it, I don't know if she could actually ever do it. Right? It's just like something a young girl would say, like, "Oh, I could do this shit," but they can't.
Well, she does say her mom would be shocked that she knows how to do it, so I feel like she knows.
Maybe.
Or at least has seen it.
She's probably seen it. Yeah, for sure.
Well, and in that case, what is the situation where you're dancing this dance?
And it's
more.
Was she at her friend's like bridal or like a bachelorette party or something? Like, why are you seeing this very intimate thing that theoretically is just between two people? I think
maybe she was part of a three-way at a
bachelorette party. Unless you're a stripper.
That works too.
Definitely, probably.
Did you ever see that episode of SNL where Chris Farley's on the Japanese game show? That's what it is.
File sips don't lie.
The Shakira dance.
Yeah. All right.
That's good. I like that.
Also, the Japanese game show idea is 100% the wrong
not even you'll know the song as it never existed according to the entry for it in the companion.
Yeah.
Glenn, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I feel
it's
like
okay. He can do a spoiler for everything, right? Or the companion? Because you guys did.
No. I mean,
it's fine. He'll a virgin. Jono? Taffy? Yeah, right?
Yes. Except in Perrin's dreams, whereupon he has.
Pretty sure she wrote a saddle horn.
That slut.
Jesus Christ.
On accident? Like accidentally
I don't know.
slipped onto
we don't know.
it?
Ask the saddle horn.
Her father is a whores master.
Yeah. He's broken her in.
Yeah. He taught her how to ride.
Jared Fade's got an erection. I can smell it getting off the elevator.
Oh man.
But yeah, so Glenn is exactly correct. There is no song. The song is a combination of dumb shit from the past as well as what we saw in the planting ceremony. It's my assumption that the planting ceremony is kind of like
the song isn't really a song, right? The song is just world peace. The concept of world peace.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, largely yes, though.
Yeah.
They're big fans.
The song is that one day everyone will follow the way of the leaf and there will be world peace. That's the song.
And the song remains the same.
Yeah.
Great song.
Anyway, I love when they're leaving. Parents like, please come with us. And he's like, thanks, but no thanks, buddy. We're good as nomads. And like, there's Trollocs out there. And he's like, we're good. I'm just going to keep dancing around, hanging out.
We die at our appointed time.
They were singing like the Tarwin's Gap song too, right? Was this? I have that written. Was that later or before?
Yeah. Right after.
It was like
right after.
That was right after.
Yeah.
Because
this is on their way back. Yeah.
Like when they sing these songs, a lot of them, I always hear it like.
Got an idea.
I always hear
Where are
it
you going with this, Taffy?
like the Darby O'Gill songs, like every time with this accents. I always imagine them like it has this shit like like
like that. And then I need to get really far back in the camera and I'll start doing a jig.
I don't know what this is.
The Darby O'Gill, just the way that they sing the song, like
Darby O'Gill, Jono.
It's that kind of an Irish like type of.
Is one of or the first instance of forced perspective in a movie. So the little leprechauns were like filmed way back, and then like the guy was a human and he was clapping, but he's like up really close to the camera clapping, and they're like really far away in the camera and dancing around like leprechauns. Anyway, it's hilarious. If you ever actually see this movie, when you're just a bit drunk enough, it's the best movie.
I don't know. I think it's like the rhyming of the songs like that Robert Jordan wrote, especially the Tarwin's Gap song. I don't know, for some when I was rereading it, I imagined them singing it and like the dudes dancing around like when he first walks into the leprechaun cave.
The song is EAGLES.
It's got Sean Connery.
Go Birds. Tom's not here.
It does.
It does have Sean Connery.
Jono, you will love this movie.
I think it's Sean Connery's first role.
Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Yeah.
That was
That
good.
was a
That was
magical shenanigans.
Okay, Sean Connery for how much you've done Sean Connery before.
That was
Thank
good.
Glenn said so the song would not be the same each time. Basically, so that's another thing.
I was making a shitty joke off
not
the
that the
Zeppelin
song would change every
Yeah.
time. I just think they
Right.
had more than one probably. And
No,
I guess it would be. It's like a live performance. It would change every time, like he's saying. But like
There
my
is
idea
no
of the song
song.
always was that
Yeah.
it wasn't something that just the Geniel, the true Iel, whatever you want to call him. Like
True.
no, it was the combination of all of those things. So without the other pieces of the song, you would never know. But I thought it was something that they could achieve if, like, say Sameshta didn't die and there was a green man still walking around and you got the Ogier involved and you got the, like, I felt like they could figure it out again. They just never did. And doesn't Rand technically know it at some point? Because he knows that.
Well, yes, but no. I mean,
Yeah,
I think that the
I don't
song is more of an aspirational idea versus like an ideal versus a real thing. Like, there was no one set song for growing things because the whole point is that growing wheat versus corn versus whatever the fuck is going to be different because the circumstances are different.
Yeah, because the Ogier are playing a different part in that version or whatever. And
so there is no like quote unquote song capital S. There are songs plural, I guess.
The Ogier would have taught them, but they're only 1/3 of it though, Glenn.
Yeah,
right.
Again,
because you need the green mans. You need the green man. Oh,
you need and the fighter of the
night man.
Yeah,
he needs to be
who is a master of
karate and friendship for everyone.
For everyone. So none of that's gonna
anyway. They head out.
They head out,
and as we're talking about, they started singing the Tarwin's Gap song. I like that everyone kind of starts trying. Even Fael and Ivan start singing along with it. Just like, and then Perrin's like, I guess they are becoming soldiers, and I'm like, you're not a soldier.
No, but I don't disagree.
You're also not a soldier.
It's okay. Like that doesn't bother me. Like he's.
No, it doesn't bother me. I just think it's funny that he's just like, one day they'll be like me, a seasoned veteran of one fight, kind of thing or whatever.
But
I know he's done a lot. He's done a lot.
He's killed people.
I know.
So they sing in March all the way to Emmons Field, and then they stop raggedly because everything is fucking different. Trees are chopped down, stakes everywhere. There's a fence. People with armor and weapons, catapults.
Men and little boys are on the roofs with bows.
Yeah, roofs. I don't know why I like roofs. Yeah,
they're on the roofs. That's how you say it, plural.
Yeah. So here we fucking go. Welcome to Emmons Field. I love
Wolf's Head Manor. Oh, I love how Fael of all people is like, Morgus isn't gonna like that.
Immediately.
Like she's like 10 minutes later, she's going like, just let him call you a lord. It's fine. You're my Wolf King. You get it. Everything's good. And then but right before all that, she's like, hey, by the way, Queen of Andor.
Yeah,
she's gonna hate that one.
It is an interesting dichotomy because she mentions the fact that for her dad, and I think it's in this chapter, like, hey, there were places that like the Queen's armies hadn't seen. And the first thing he did once the blight calmed down was to go fucking check it out and remind them, hey, you're part of Saldia. And then here, no, good luck is all Perrin thinks of. He's like, there's no queen. Who gives a shit? It's been 100 years.
Oh, yeah.
So Wyatt Man Wild brings up a good point here. Could you read it for us, Taffy?
What's that?
Read that, please.
I would pay for one of those throat singers on my nuts.
Yeah, he just wanted that soundbite to be in existence.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I hesitated.
Oh no, it's not a sound bite technically. It's a sound, I guess, gargle. Like,
yeah, it's a gargle. It's a gargle.
Yeah. But yes, and I appreciate that, Taffy.
I would pay for one of those throat singers on my nuts. There's option 2.
Okay.
You want in the dark one's voice? I would pay for one of those throat singers on
Patrick
my
Darkwood?
nuts.
I haven't heard you in years.
Patrick Darkwood.
My God, it's been so long.
Did I do okay?
The amount of time, like I think we brought that up before, like every fucking episode, but I don't know if people appreciate the amount of dumb time that Joe and I would spend in the recording studio with a pizza.
Doing Dark One and Minion.
Yeah, just blasted off her fucking ass and just
We're so drunk.
They were pretty. There's some pretty long clips of that.
Yeah. I can't wait till our reread of the book / my re-listen of our old podcast. I start getting to those because I'm going to be like, oh, let me mark every episode. Those
Oh shit! Are they not? When did they happen?
Not yet, and I'm on episode 18.
18.
I guess.
Okay. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. That's like a 30 or 40 episode thing.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't hold that in in the back pocket idea?
So that sounded just like me.
Watermelons.
All right, chapter 43, Care for the Living. It just basically picks up right where the last one left off. This whole, by the way, we didn't say this, but these 5 chapters, just a big chunk of Perrin from the books. We got nothing else going on. Perrin.
Whoever broke these chapters up did a great job.
I mean, I do enjoy it, actually.
You're welcome, you cunt.
Perrin goes basically right to the wine spring because Fael's like, you need to get healed, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's getting worse and worse. This fucking... It's kind of tough to really think about it, but like he slept in the wagon with a giant fucking... Because this isn't just like some small-ass arrow. This is a Trolloc arrow that's been snapped off.
And he was jerking around in his sleep.
Yeah.
He was jerking around in his sleep all night with Fael.
Right.
And they're like the size of like a small spear, like diameter-wise, just in him. And that's
hooked on one of his ribs too.
I completely agree with both of these sentiments. Perrin's awesome in this book, and this is the best of Perrin, so enjoy it.
It is. Like if Perrin gets a little annoying in places later on, but my God,
I actually really like what
Sanderson
does with Perrin later. Like the dream sequence fight between him and Slayer.
I wasn't ragging
flickering
on
in and out of the real world and into the Tel'aran'rhiod. I love that. It's very comic booky, which is right up my alley. But it's also like a little Sanderson silliness kind of on it. But like I think it's
Sanderson silliness.
Little Brandon Sanderson, like, let's play with this magic system that's already has enough rules I could break.
Yeah. Although I now think Sanderson silliness for still Halloween movies. Absolutely. Taffy, you were saying
Two Rivers lads are welcomed as heroes, and then the names of the dead start getting called out, and Perrin's like, "Oh fuck, get me out of here."
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember what was happening there. He was getting lightheaded from his erection as he found out more of his
was that what it is? Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time a mother called out the name of a dead child, he's like, "Oh god, get me out of here."
And if you don't, I don't know if you remember, his saddle on Stepper is a giant Sibian. So he's just like
just getting vibrated.
Barbed in the butthole and the rib at the same time. That's a lot of stimulation.
Yeah. Only available at special stores in the Two Rivers. Yeah.
Anyway, so he's waiting to be healed, and he's like, "Where's Loyal?" And they're like, "Oh, he's out chopping a shitload of trees down for us. He does the work of 10 men."
Yeah.
But he's upset about all of them being
But he's sad about them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that? That's got to be a frightening visage, right? Like just 9
just
foot
weeping
tall
while he's downing huge trees.
Yeah.
So sad.
What's wrong? It's like a brother.
Just yelling and they fucking chop him through. Like, my God, if he ever kills Aerith, like I imagine, Eris, what's her fucking name?
His girl, Aerith.
Aerith.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, this girl, the ears.
Yes.
Oh, the boobs.
Yeah.
Yes.
If he ever kills her with a fucking axe, just chopping through her. Yeah. Ooh, choking with Lanfear. That's true.
Now I need a meme of reactions to Perrin just popping into existence chasing Slayer. I love that scene.
Yeah.
Someone make it.
Anyway. Oh, I do like his, well, not that he hasn't been suspicious of Luke, but he can't quite prove it because he doesn't know how that Luke can just go into the world of dreams physically and like come out somewhere else. So he can't quite like, he's like, fuck, he was over there. Yeah. He couldn't have warned them, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so, but he's like, is Luke here? And they're like, no, he's not. And he's like, damn it.
Yeah.
So the timeline doesn't make sense for him.
Oh, no. He's like, they're like, he's not here, but he was yesterday. And he's like, oh, fuck, he was here yesterday. That means he wasn't the one.
He's also like, He's also like, hey, is Luke here? I just want to know. I don't want to fucking see him. Just tell him.
Oh,
Luke's
yeah,
here.
that's-
Don't bring him here.
I love that
Don't.
part.
Yeah.
It's funny is when he tells Aram to get the fuck out. He's like, is
Yeah.
Luke here? I don't want him. I just want to know.
Yeah. Please.
Why is it so
Like, I
funny?
can-
It's just that it's the way
Yeah,
he says
he's
it
like,
so fast.
Yeah.
It's also a very non-parent thing.
Yeah.
For him to say it means he fucking means it.
Yeah. I mean, he's
Very
holding
true.
on by like it just the barbed
the
thing
bear
in his rib. Like, I mean, that's insane. And
Yeah.
just getting in there, like it's I don't know.
I like
Yeah,
how he,
it's just like-
first of all, Robert Jordan, what is this? What is
Right.
this saying? He goes, it's like wanting, he's like, wanting won't make a stone cheese. And he's like, and he mutters it to himself. And the other people are like, what does that have to do with Luke? What the fuck's
What's the second
happening?
part?
And
Do you have the
and
second
he's
part
like-
written down?
no.
I didn't.
Yeah, he
you
goes,
gotta-
but he still smells like cheese to me. The second, the first part's like weird, but he's just like, I said it out loud, just like Austin Powers-esque, like just unfrozen,
Yeah.
like said it out loud, and they're like, the fuck?
I was just
So
like, come on, what is this weird?
Uh,
Like, that's a normal saying. I don't know. I just loved it.
I do appreciate the fact that it's actually our good friend Dav or Dave.
Oh, Dab
probably.
and the Badger?
Yeah, with Elam, and then the third person is Ewan Finger, and all three of them. Yeah, Dick Cheese. By the way, great artist. If you guys aren't buying Richard Cheese albums, I don't know what's wrong with you. So the three of them are a nice little, book one. What is the right term? Reunion. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, book one reunion.
Although there is no Badger that we see.
Hey, remember when you
No.
left us here and went off on adventures? What were they like? He's like, it sucked. I was trying not to die the whole time. Couldn't find anywhere to sleep. It was cold, raining. I mean, they're
Hungry.
like, that's not true.
Yeah.
There's
Sounds-
more
sounds
people.
false.
There's more people in one place than you'll ever see here. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
so. That can't be right.
I like how he tells him stuff and just leaves shit out. And he's just like, there's no way they would believe. And they don't believe half of what he says anyway. And he's like, oh,
Yeah, like they're not impressed by the size of the cities or buildings or anything, but they do like hearing about, other specific like people that he met or, so I think, but then he's like, remembers that how he felt when he was there. He would have had a hard time comprehending the size of cities or large, like the Stone of Tyr, that's the size of a mountain. Like,
well, he goes,
it's like
he's
too
like,
much beyond their comprehension at this point, probably to even grasp
yeah.
how big that
well,
is.
for one, it's like it does occur to him like he was like them, but he goes, was I ever that wide-eyed or something like that? I was like, yes, you were, you dummy. What do you think Lan was going through the whole time? Book one. Just like, this is the city.
Yeah.
Stay in a straight line, hold each other's hands.
Yeah.
We'll all go to the bathroom at once. Like,
I love
stop wandering off, Egwene,
Tom Maryland laughs in book one when they like approach Bearlawn. He's just like them in a city, laughing about the idea of that being a city, since that's a fucking town for him. I also really enjoy this. And this is why you don't say two things in a row. Give me a second. I fucking lost what I was going to say.
Well, Loyal comes in. Is that what you're talking about?
Yay!
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
you're talking about a
space.
city.
Oh yeah.
No, don't worry about it. No,
No?
you guys.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just trying to trigger him. Okay, inner space, loose there.
Inner space between this, like, parents getting a fever,
Okay.
and like you can tell he's like getting close to passing out, but he's not really recognizing it, kind of thing. But he's like, Loyal, the way gate is unlocked. How is that possible? And he's like, I only locked it from the inside. He goes, I didn't want to destroy it, but I don't get me wrong, I get where Loyal is coming from. But he's like, if I had done that, the only way to like reopen the gate would be to like bring whatever the fuck he calls it from.
The talisman of growing from the elders.
Yeah.
And it takes
But-
like us. Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah. That doesn't seem like
if there is a way to regrow it, then what are you worried about?
But he
You're
had
not destroying it. If there's a way to regrow it, you're not destroying it.
That's where he was like, even how he's still in the forest, like chopping down trees. He knows he needs to do it, but it still makes him super sad. Like when he had to hastily make the decision, should I destroy the Waygate or should I put the leaves back and just block them from the inside? It's just it's his innocence that like, and the hastiness of the decision. So but then he's like being super honest about it. He's like, listen, you have to do all this, and like he had all this stuff in his head. And
and of course, Loyal now blames himself, and he's like, "I'll go fix it." He's like, "Don't go out there, you'll fucking die, you idiot!" And he's like, "I'm gonna go anyway."
And then Perrin takes
unless the Talisman of Growing, something that we never see enough, uses an Ogier fucking soul to do it. Yeah, this feels like a really easy solution, actually. Like, you probably should have just done that.
Yeah, I mean, why would Loyal... I guess it's understood that there might be people from the other side that would unlock it again. However, I think it's pretty logical to be like, oh, well, if they're coming out of here, I just won't let them out. And I think, like, that's, I can see the logic in it, I guess is what I'm saying. And if you combine that with, like, Taffy's explanation of, like, he's mortified at even destroying it, even if they could regrow it.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously Taffy's not wrong there. Taffy's never wrong, you pieces of shit. But
can I get a soundbite of that to play for Mr. Bennington?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
cut it out.
Jono.
Fuck you, Otto. But like on the other hand, like he knows that like there are Forsaken, that even if traveling isn't necessarily something he knows about, but obviously people travel via waygates, portal stones, etc. That there's all sorts of fucking diabolic insanity going on here that, could easily... This is already a hotbed of crazy shit. But so let's just nip it in the fucking bud and then go on later. Yeah.
Again, Tom did mention this
isn't, especially
14 years ago.
But
it's also kind of Perrin's fault for not following through and like, hey,
I don't know about that.
Do this
Perrin doesn't know better. Loyal knows
just
better.
A little. He knows enough.
But also,
he could have asked questions.
No one's using this fucking waygate. The waygate itself, is tarnished because it's part of the fucking ways, which has been illegal for 700 years by the Ogier.
Christian said, couldn't he have just taken the leaf with him? So,
that's a great question. We don't have.
If you take, so he does. So we don't know technically, but I guess he does say if he takes both leaves, they'd wither and die, and therefore the waygate would die.
But what does that mean?
If he just took one, would it wither and die, or would it be like a stone leaf that he could just put in his pocket until they go back?
Well, I think that
they could still open it from the outside, which is still a problem, but they wouldn't be able to open it from the inside still. Like, I'm sure Slayer just stuck the leaf back on the inside, so they could get out.
Leave someone.
But he's not sitting at the waygate letting them out.
I thought about that too, but I don't remember ever reading any explanation about if that was something that you could do. If you could take it like a key that you use for later,
Yeah.
We don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. We don't know.
I think you can't, because if you could take it and it wouldn't die, I feel like half the waygates would be missing leaves and shit. Like they would have, you know what I mean? Like half the people would have been like, I'm gonna take this with me. Now it's my waygate.
And the only saving grace might be if Ogier fucking are the only ones who can do it.
You'd get to a waygate and be like, God damn it, who has the key? Son of a bitch. Just like a little note that says I'll be back in 45 minutes, and it's been like 10 years. Son of a bitch.
All right, chapter 44.
Maybe the leaf can't be taken far from the gate. You can't. Yeah, the leaf would die X days if separated from the waygate, I think. So I think he does say that for both, but I assume it's true for one.
That makes sense. I think the leaf dies
because it's a leaf. It's a leafing. It's a living thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
it's like the asshole taking fucking. God damn it. What's wrong? Like, are you drunks? Like, what's wrong?
No,
with
go
you?
ahead. It's like the asshole taking what?
Coral. There you go. Jeez, I had to learn
coral.
You don't fucking take coral.
Don't
right? Never
take
touch
a piece of the
right.
coral.
You don't take. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Good point.
Yeah.
I do I mean, real quick, we do get he's like one was destroyed around 500 years after the breaking.
Okay.
And then he goes 2 to 3 are lost in the blight as it is. And he's like, I'll go right now. And he's like, no, don't go right now. The Trogs will kill you. But I like I know it's expository, but I like getting those little details of oh, there's how many in the way or in the blight? Interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I think
that was kind of cool.
We should absolutely do this. And I think I say this probably every way too often. we really haven't like touched on the big white book, right? The World of Robert Jordan by Teresa Patterson and Robert Jordan. And we absolutely, get fresh coral, break a piece off. My wife will kill you. She's a marine biologist, and scuba diving with her
He will kill
is
you.
an absolute treat and nightmare.
TK Moon said Fane has a leaf in the show. Well, a pic, but not actually in the show. Oh, so he has it in a picture, but not in the show. Because I was going to say in the show, I don't think I saw anything.
I'm sorry, I don't remember the show.
Isn't the leaf in the show a little keychain Fane had? And then Christian Crapper said there are no leaves in the show.
Oh, that's a good conversation. I like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, DK Moon said I was just trolling.
For the
coral? Yeah,
That's
we know.
good.
We know you're fucking around.
I don't remember shit.
Only Jono took that. Only
Okay,
Jono
they
took that
changed
seriously.
so much of the lore. They might as well just change the fact that you can't separate the tree from the.
You said keychain, and I was like, I'm gonna lose my mind. That just feels like if it's on a
They
fucking.
don't even use a leaf. They don't even use a leaf or anybody. Like you can only channel.
No, apparently there's
it.
like a picture of Pat and Fane, and he has like something that would like because in the show they never explain how he's getting in and out of the way gates or whatever.
Okay.
So I think there's like a picture of him like holding something that like shows how he's doing it, but like it's never actually in the show. But I've never, I don't think I've seen that picture.
I need to fucking watch the show again because I watched it either drunk or while taking notes or yelling or a combination thereof.
I've talked to a couple people that have not read the books. Yes, one or two people they fucking love it.
It's fascinating. Like I'm
that
happy
show,
for
that's
them.
great. That's awesome. And I'm like, okay, but just so you know.
Yeah, I'm happy for them. I'm just not happy for me.
I mean, I love any time that the show is bringing new people to the series as a whole.
Yeah.
And hopefully those people end up just reading the books and enjoying them.
And then
they're better, because they're way better. But like, it's fine if someone likes the show. I don't dislike if someone likes the show.
Yeah, and there's a lot of really enjoyable things about the show. But little things like that, like it's supposed to, that would only be like, who is going to pick up on that besides people who read? I'm derailing. Sorry, should we move past it?
Let's go rail.
Want to rail? Okay. Who else would fucking even like notice something like that or even need to see that? Somebody who doesn't know anything about the show or the books or anything, and they're watching that. Why do they're going to pick up on him holding a leaf? Like that's supposed to be for us, but it doesn't mean dick to us. Like
it means fuck to us.
It means fuck nuts.
It's Peruvian us.
It means fuck Peruvian.
I'll tell you who would notice it. Look in the bottom left corner of my screen. And that's the man who loves it all.
Yes.
That's the man. Tom O'Hara. Tom.
Are you guys going to be doing watching the trailer and stuff like that?
Are you? Or you mean are we?
Oh, are we? Yes. Are we?
Are we? You mean are we?
Yeah. The answer is I think so, yeah.
Well, so right now this book is going to run right into the release of the show.
Oh.
So we could either we could do like a little show news bit at the beginning of every episode. News, and just do a little bit of the show before we talk about the books every week.
How many more episodes do we have?
Probably do that if it's going to run right up to it. I don't know, but I was telling Joe before when I watched the trailer when it first came out. First of all, I enjoyed it, but when I saw,
as long as Tom's not here,
when I saw Rand carrying Moraine, I was like, oh my god, Tom is gonna lose his shit. Ever see this. Tom is going to he's gonna punch the TV.
You're not even thinking, you're watching the trailer and your brain immediately goes, Tom's gonna fucking hate this.
As soon as I saw him carrying her, I was like, oh my god, Tom is going to he's gonna kill somebody. He's going to be angry at whoever made him watch that.
Yeah. Hey, can I tell you something about Tom? He's an obstinate cunt. I love him.
No, he's fantastic.
He's the fucking worst friend I have.
I miss him.
Yeah. All right. Let's speaking of.
Parents getting progressively worse. Alana arrives. Loyal takes him to the kitchen table like a little baby. Mr. Sluin looking like him, like she's about to cry. He doesn't understand why. And he's like, Mr. Sluin, I got permission from my mommy and daddy to be the apprentice. And she's like, and he's like, that's not right.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was my favorite part.
Yeah,
he
bite
held
down
on
the stick.
right till they put him
Yeah.
on that table. He held on and had conversations with people somehow, and some kind of
He's like the hilarious kid that comes out of like surgery from the dentist or something and says like crazy shit and mom's recording it in the backseat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You know,
so
that kind
he's
of thing. That kind of video.
That annoying little
Yeah.
fuck.
But without the
What would you do
drugs,
if-
he wasn't drugged. He was just delirious from pain.
Oh
right?
yeah, he was just yeah. But
Poor
he doesn't know. He
dude.
doesn't feel it anymore.
Right. Okay.
I love how he hears the stick snap in his mouth before he like
Yeah,
passes out. That's
Yeah.
so fucked up.
it is.
Quick note: no blowjobs during this time.
Yeah, don't.
That would be bad.
To ring
Bail.
while he's getting
Whose
the
dick is
finger-
Bail's putting in his mouth? Bite down on this, parent.
Oh, okay.
Slayer,
Sorry, I missed
Slayer.
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured loyal because it'd be like hard as wood. You know?
Also thick.
It's a tree trunk. Chapter 44, the breaking
Put this in your mouth,
storm.
Baron. Ah.
And then it snaps.
Chapter
it's-
44.
Wait, do you think it's full of sap, like tree sap?
Well, it depends what type of tree you're thinking about.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, don't
No,
they
but
all?
the green man's is.
Yeah.
That's
Which
like
one do you think is more like a maple, right? That like that sweet, like, well, this was worth sucking, versus more just it's just
Depends
like
on what
two
kind of
stuff
tree
together.
that the random green man is made out of, you know?
yeah.
Ah,
Maybe it's
okay.
like ambrosia that comes out.
Oh.
Putting a bro in
No.
ambrosia.
Yeah, like like the nectar of the gods, like
Yeah,
green.
That's what they call
green
me.
goo.
Yeah.
Green
That's what they call
goo.
me.
Chapter
44.
45.
Just getting slimed like in
Oh,
Ghostbusters.
44.
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Slime.
Yeah, that's what I imagine it looking like.
Fuck
44.
yeah. Smells like an erection in this room.
Perrin lives, everybody.
Oh shit! Got that one wrong.
So he survives.
Oops.
Lost a bet there. The breaking
Loyal and
storm.
Gaul are gone.
Oh,
And he's like,
no.
what do you mean they're gone? And he's like, who
They're
let them
gone.
go? And he's like, well, we didn't really let them go. We just, they walked off. The sentries saw them. They just didn't stop them.
And they were trying to like fool them by talking about trees or something, right?
Yeah, they were like, they just wandered off into the woods talking about trees.
Yeah.
Gaul was probably like, what are these fucking things anyway?
Yeah.
We don't have any of these.
They're-
Tell me
they're
all
literally
about them.
Explain them. But imagine the conversation, Gaul. I would have loved to have some more info about the long walk with Gaul and Loyal.
Yeah, I want to see that. That's a missing chapter I want. There's certain
That'd be great.
parts in these books where I'm just like, I would have loved that chapter.
Yeah.
I
just
don't
those two.
disagree. Those are
You could
two
have shown-
characters.
I know them getting there and stopping it is like a surprise because you don't know until they return, so it adds like. But you could have had a chapter of them like almost dying, getting there, and then or not even getting there yet, kind of thing, like on the way.
Or just
And that
what
would
do
have
they
been
talk- like,
scarier
all the-
because you would still not know if they had done it or not until they got back,
And like, do you think Gaul would just because he's a tree brother, he would just like let Loyal ramble on and talk
Oh,
and
for
talk
sure.
and talk? He would never interrupt him, right? He's so
Not a
polite.
chance.
He would but he'd probably love to hear all the things that he said.
Yeah, That's
Even when
exactly-
Trollocs were like really close to them, he'd be like, "Shut the fuck, never mind, keep talking, it's fine."
Yeah, totally. It would have been rad.
He just starts veiling. He's like, "I gotta protect this idiot while he rambles on about trees."
Yeah. You just keep just yelling. It's what you call like a normal voice. But like, those are two characters that I think are like they are. Each of them is fascinating in their own right. I don't think that either is used enough. Like through the entire series, like when we first start seeing Loyal, literally from book 1, fascinating. Book 2, fascinating. Like all the way through.
Yeah.
Gaul is someone that we see less and less of from like he becomes less important to the plot in many places. Like he'll kind of come and go. But the idea of like them together is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Again, I've got this hard on, and I apologize. I'm going to bring it up every goddamn time that I have an erection. I'm a 40-year-old man. That's not right. I've got this hard on for these characters that I think that like mash or should mash more.
Mhm.
And like this is a fucking example of it. Like Joe, to your fucking point, like I would love to see what the fuck happens here. I would love to see like some of these things that happen off screen or that we should have seen because they're two characters that everyone wanted to see together and never fucking happened. This is one of them. I want someone else to write them down because I'm going to get drunk and forget starting an hour ago. And I would really like to know that because I think that I'm going to make the same point over and over. Please help me from doing that.
You probably already, you already have.
Robert Jordan probably he gave us that little snippet of what they were talking about as they walked past those people. So we can use our imagination and think about
He's like,
what
fill it in.
Like.
It's more fun this way, readers.
Yeah. Or like just to give us at least a lead into imagining it instead of not getting that at all, I suppose.
Gotta start writing my fanfic.
Yeah. You should write it. That'd be fun.
That was still one of my favorite Jordan comics.
You could put it on MySpace.
Yes, we should.
Yeah.
That's where all the
lost chapters by Jono will be on our MySpace page.
Oh, by the way, I made a MySpace page and I linked in or whatever.
We're bringing MySpace back, everybody. Go to myspace.com/tWoTcast.
And I found Drab Shadow there.
Oh,
I haven't seen anything else. I haven't.
Well, it's because no one goes.
Look at the bottom.
We're bringing MySpace back, everybody. MySpace, everybody. It's the new Twitter of time. MySpace.com.
I'm so annoyed because I'm the one who sends out belatedly the last minute Twitter and then Blue Sky. And just doing that, it's like I'm usually at the gym, so fucking annoyed, taking the fucking things. The idea that there's a third one that I need to be doing
that you have to post on.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine, yeah.
But
White Man said, "I heard if the tree looks like a vagina," and then Christian Reber said, "I think that Wyatt Man is Jono's burner account."
Oh, that's possible.
Jono's just typing the whole time.
Oh.
What's a good pseudonym? Wyatt Man Wilds.
Yeah. Worst part is I don't actually know how to spell wild.
John brings it up because him getting a hard on these days is so
I did ask.
We should buy that. We should just buy MySpace. How much is it? $5?
Couldn't be more than that.
It's $5.
Donate. Press the like, subscribe, and our Patreon channel. All these things should probably be puffed up right now so we can buy MySpace because it's $20.
You can write pages of clothing descriptions, but skip over Matt and Coulidan's fight in book 5 and Matt's escape in book 9.
Oh no,
that's true. I mean, he's not wrong.
I get it, right? It's a very much a brilliant turn of
the battle thing. I get.
You're like, I wanted to read it though.
I mean, you see it from his perspective after the fact enough, right? You get.
I thought the dumbest thing he did though, of all the things RJ did, Donnie. Yeah. I don't think that really made much sense.
What an idiot!
From a narrative point of view. Stupid.
It was not a good call.
No. Stupid. So where are we in this book?
Wyatt Man said that's Harriet's editing. She's a saint, Wyatt Man.
She killed him?
Harriet's a saint.
Careful. Yes. No joke. Yes. Careful. Careful there, Jono's burner account.
Get careful there, Jono's burner account. So Harriet go after them and gets dressed like an idiot. She's like, "You'll die, you dummy." And he's like, "I'm as strong as a horse." And she's like, and then he falls down the stairs. And he's like, "Fine, I'll stay."
Full tumble, like they eat shit down the stairs right into the common room.
You know, it's funny. Like Miriam comes in, Mr. Salveri. She comes in, and you know what she says? Like,
I'm not on first name basis.
What's going on here?
Joe, she says, "What's that sound? What's that sound?" And then that was the sound of a tool chest.
Of a tool chest falling down the stairs.
Thank you. Finally got my first Home Alone reference in here.
Oh, I got it.
Home Alone 2.
Home Alone
2, John.
Home Alone 2. Yeah,
oh, okay, then no.
You know, the classic, the seminal classic starring Donald Trump. I like
I'm now thinking about like
they're both embarrassed because they're like on the floor with their faces right next to each other, and she's like, "What are you guys doing?" And they're like, "Nothing."
They straighten their
noses around.
Yeah,
we're not fooling around.
Fail must be pretty tough to be able to tumble like bam, bam, bam. My parent had to on her.
He wrapped his fur around her in a protective cocoon, kind of like Groot in the end of Guardians.
Oh,
and then
kind of like how in the Iron.
They ran down the stairs like a little tumbleweed.
You know, in the Iron Giant when he grabs the kid.
Yeah, protected him.
The kid with the weird name. what's it?
I don't remember his name.
The name of that kid, I was like, I just couldn't get past it. But he had like a super like adult name. What?
Nicodemus?
Something like that. He grabs him and he like hits the ground and like.
What's the kid's name in Iron Giant? Everybody. I don't feel like looking it up.
Don't have children, no idea.
Something like Marthello or Bartholomew or something like very. Anyways,
I can't
believe I forgot his name.
I've actually a lot of people love that movie and watch it all the time. I've only seen it like once or maybe twice, so I don't remember.
Your kid, watch it with your kids.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
They're gonna love it. It's such a great movie. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm waiting. Chat.
Anyway, back on point.
Okay, sorry.
No, only I
think that's how he got fail. He grabbed her like this, and they went backwards down, and he just held her like.
Yeah, he took all the.
Yeah.
You one time when Violet was a baby.
Hogarth. Hogarth.
That's right. According to Google, it's Hogarth Hughes.
Yes, because it's on his gun, and it's like written in crayon or something like that.
We're gonna go to 11.
Yeah, and then he wrote Hogarth on the bottom of his foot, like Toy Story.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
He had to write it. He needed like.
He spray painted it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
So then
before they can really recover from that, well, Mr. Savlier is like, Fail, this is how you handle parent. He was like this as a little boy, and this is all you have to do, even though he's a grown-up. It's fine. And he's like, I was never stubborn as a mule. And then basically
right in front of
someone goes, Trollocs! And they go outside.
I do appreciate that Fail at least wanted to learn of like how do I help this without being like,
well, because she's crossed the line of like, I'm fucking with this guy, and now it's I need to learn how to interact with him as my future and current fiance / husband. Like she's already transitioned into all the bullshit's over. Now I just need to know how to handle my husband in any situation. Kind of thing. Even though they're not
again, like you said, Trollocs.
Aaron keeps calling for his horse, and Fail's like, finally, just like, all right, get him his horse.
And
just wants his horse.
Aaron immediately realizes, like, holy shit, I am way too weak to actually fight a Fade or a Trolloc. I'll just.
Well, she says that. She's like, "Are you are you even strong enough?" And he's like, "Fuck, she's right. I'm not strong enough for that."
Yeah. So
I just love that. That's what gets through to him. He's like, "She's right. I couldn't fight a Trolloc." Shit.
No shit, dickhead. You just
we all know that. You should have known that right away.
So there's 500 Trollocs. Because she relented and got him the horse, so then he could be like, "Okay, she's right." As soon as they stop fighting each other.
Well, she knew she wouldn't be able to get him back into bed without him attempting to go outside and fail like an idiot.
But Taffy's right. The idea is like, if you placate his insanity, he realizes like,
It's also at the very end of the day when he's finally like, let me go back inside or whatever. He's like, oh, I'm exhausted. It's only halfway through the day. I guess Fael was right. I'm like, she's been right the whole time.
You dumb dick.
Anyway.
You dumb dick. So Trollocs is what is what Banshai had said, and the village gets prepped. God damn. That's both perfect and
Hogarth is the best name now.
Hogarth Hughes.
Anyway, so the village is getting prepped, ready for him. And Daniel and company have they're surrounding Perrin and Fail. So he's already got his companions with a capital C, and the wolf head band around him, and the Trollocs attack, and immediately get slaughtered.
Well, it's just a random probe at first, which I thought was awesome.
Exactly, but then
Ban and Chai had to come back, and they're like, "Hey, there's 500 Trollocs coming our way."
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, and they got there fast too.
Yeah,
I love the description of them snaking through the stakes as they like run up to the.
Yeah, I like that too. That was cool.
I could just visualize that so well for some reason. I was like, that was perfect description.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
but hopefully that snake wasn't at Burning Man.
Yeah, I hope not, because it's pretty fucking high.
Yeah, they're dead.
If it's at Burning Man.
Yeah. So, and of course, hopefully that catapult wasn't at Burning Man because it's shattering, like exploding all over them. So it ends up that's what the Aes Sedai have been doing is they have apparently been taking stone.
Well, I like how parents thought is like, what would have happened if we dropped one of those before they got it into the catapult? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, it's interesting. It
Like a
feels
timed fuse? What are they doing? Like infusing it with nitroglycerin? Like what's happening there?
I don't know. So, there's this
Tied-off
issue
weave
with
of fire? Maybe?
I don't know. So each Aja has its own kind of like proprietary weaves. We know that. But there's also kind of a maxim that's not always correct, but largely men are stronger in fire and earth, which is exactly what's happening. It's a stone that's exploding on impact. And women are stronger in water and wind. And that's not what's happening. So it just feels like a weird choice because the women have had 3,000 years to say, hey, no fire that can't be put out by water or wind. No, like in essence, these powers are equal, and I don't disagree with that at all. So why the fuck aren't you coming up with something that's a little more up your wheelhouse or in your wheelhouse? It's just it feels like a weird thing that's what they've been doing. I don't.
Yeah. Well, so
Alana's
Alana's green, right? Like maybe that's a Badalaja thing.
Again, I think
like
that makes a remnant
of a remnant of like, oh, we remember how to make bombs. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just this is a lot.
The last thing the Trollocs say is like, smells like kerosene. Are you guys wearing aftershave? And then it's that rock hitting them.
Why is the rock soaked in kerosene?
You think they could have made it explode with like little balls of air? Like maybe they put like
maybe that's what I'm wondering. I wish we'd had a little more insight into like how they did that.
Like fracking it almost, so like when it hits there, it explodes. Like
I don't know. I don't remember if it exploded and it had fire or anything inside.
I think it explodes with fire.
Yes, Joe's correct him.
Yeah.
But that being said, I do like the idea of fracking it, which uses water, and then putting kerosene in it, and then this Home Alone 2 joke works perfectly the whole way through.
Maybe oil and water inside.
Perrin talks to Bran, and then he gets all the people moving, and he's like, "What am I doing here?" And I love how he's constantly like, "What the fuck? Why do they think I'm so important?"
And I would like to comment about Bran Alvere's bull helmet.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm kind of obsessed with that thing, and he mentions it a few times as well. Like Robert Jordan mentions it. Like
he just had it on like the mantle, and then he gets stuck it on his head and doesn't quite fit. And he's like, I don't know whose this was, but it looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
And his bulk is straining at his jerkin, and that's not even a joke.
Yeah.
Straining at the jerkin, by the way, like that may be on my tombstone is straining at the jerkin.
My bulk is straining.
His bulk strained at his jerkin.
It's so great.
Just a picture of like a holograph of me.
Well, we know what Jono's epitaph is. Congratulations, everybody. We've accomplished something real tonight. I don't think we need to cover the rest of this chapter.
Okay.
My bulk straining at my jerkin.
I think we're good.
It is a really lovely combination of words. I do like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so these 500 Trollocs, they're fucked.
Yeah, they all die, and like Bran's like, "Great victory, my boy." And he's like, "I didn't do anything."
Yeah.
Like just I mean, I know it's like it's obvious to us, the reader. They're just like looking to him as a leader, and he doesn't understand why and everything. But like the instances of it are adorable. I think as a kid.
Yeah.
I don't find it annoying. I guess is what I'm saying.
But the most important note here is parents. They had to know, and like only like
they had to know that wouldn't work. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, is it Ivan or Tomas? I think it's Tomas. Is like, oh, so you're not an idiot. Yeah, 500 Trollocs attacking.
Yeah, good job. Good job not being
thousands of people who are ready.
He's like, that was a test, and he's like, there's a raven right up there, and it's circling. And it's like, you know.
Oh, and then something happens at the south. Chapter
another
45.
Attack. It's another attack.
The Tinker's Sword. Oh, not a great.
Well, I feel like the thought of like he goes, what if it was 10,000, or what if they have 10,000 out there? Like he's thinking about numbers, and Baron's like, well, that's unlikely, and here's why. And I love her little breakdown of like they're traveling through the ways. You can't do too many because then the Mock and Chin would find them. And even assuming that Dark Friend or like the Trollocs would attract it less maybe than a normal human, they're probably packed to 20 or 50. You know, like she's already like making calculations and just going, we might win. All right.
She's like an epidemiologist. Like she's 100% just going through it like Tim Curry during Clue, like 1 + 2 + 2 + 1.
Yeah.
What's 1 plus 2 plus 2?
Yeah.
Either way,
How many
so
bullets?
they go to
are
the
there?
south.
Yeah.
So chapter 45, the Tinker's Sword.
I love.
By
these
the
fucking
way,
assholes.
the
the Trollocs tried us here also, and he's like, "We're heroes too." And he goes, "Those are
South
Tinkers,
side
you
of
idiots."
Was it intentionally just the
so good.
inbred retards?
Yeah, they're just like, "You guys guard the
There's just
south."
Just the Coplans looking, they're just like so proud of themselves. They've got, and one of them had this arm around like some cousin's like husband, and the dude like looked like had a look on his face like he just hated him and he wanted him off of him, and like just
Yeah,
the
totally
whole
normal.
scene that he walked up
Totally
to was
normal
pretty
responses.
good.
One of them
Just a bunch
smells
of
like
jerks.
ale. That guy. Yeah.
Billy. I think it
Yeah.
was Billy.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, Billy.
Yeah. Like Billy. We've got all this Congers, Coplans. Like, it's just incest down south. And I don't know if that's because, like, bad luck, or technically all of it is incest because it's a small little fucking village, or if it's just, like, well, we put them facing south because there's a lesser chance from the south.
Maybe they just
Whereas the
congregate
North has
together
more people.
because they're assholes and they don't want to fight. So when the real fight happened, they were like, "Let's go to the other gates."
Also, congregate.
So they were all
is
just down there.
Billy Conger. Yeah.
Congregate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that.
that's what I said. Congregate. Yeah.
Good one.
Anyway, so it ends up it's actually the tWoTcast that are out there, and literally Perrin can see them.
That's the
and you're-
opposite of Trollocs.
Yeah.
And they know because somebody peeks their head over the wall and it's like all these bright colors.
Just a
he's
bright
like,
color, and parents like immediately
fucking
like, "That's a
tinker."
tinker." Yeah, fucking idiot.
so stupid.
You
Also,
stupid
there's a
dicks.
whole 20 of them because they've all been butchered, which is horrifying. But at the
Yeah.
same time, because even Perrin goes, "How many were there?" Because he doesn't even know how many they had with them.
Yeah.
There's just
Horrifying
20
because there's
plus
probably a lot
children.
more than 20. Yeah.
20 adults is
20 men or women, maybe,
fucked.
and some children. That's what it says.
Also,
Because how many
interesting to know that
died?
Dave Conger, the wisdom, is at
Yeah.
first not a fan. So she's kind of a bitch.
Because
Like,
she's a
she's
conger.
also-
She's a cunt, man. I hate that.
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it is horrifying that parents says this in front of children that just saw their families die. But he goes like, "We're not turning children away to the Trollocs, you assholes." And they're
Yeah.
like, and then Days Conger's like, "Yeah, you assholes, get in line."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Get out of here.
Yeah. Like, talk about some fucking just
As soon as the women's
Pieces
circle
of
and
shit.
the men's count, like the village council came up, then
Mhm.
it turned in just to like to see who was better than that. So it was like, I
Yeah,
don't know, Perrin kind of tricked them into taking,
agreeing
like,
with each other.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, and listening to him at the same time. Good job, Perrin. It's
Yeah,
almost like
good
he's a
job, Perrin.
natural born leader or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, but to your point though, the rest of this chapter, well, at least a large part of this chapter, is him being a leader.
Yeah.
Literally telling people no on shit that they shouldn't be doing anyway. And
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Master Luhan comes to him for answers, and he's like, "What are you doing?
I
I'm
don't-
your apprentice. I just told your wife about it in the kitchen yesterday."
I don't want to go into all these instances because some of them are just mind-numbingly stupid. But ends up the two.
How do we
rivers
get the
people-
shepherds in faster, Jono? What about the sheep? Isn't
Have
that a
you
problem?
considered running faster?
What about a horn? I
Oh,
remember one in
fuck!
Sen Bui's fireplace.
Yeah. All right. So again, enough with that.
I like
shit.
how a lot of the questions are, "Can we go to our farms that are burning to get stuff?" And he's like, "No, you idiots!
Yeah.
Well, absolutely not. It's the one thing you shouldn't do." Anyway, yeah. Anyway, Luke rides in with a midrill head.
a bag of heads.
And he's like, "I fell upon a band of Trollocs." Fuck off.
Also, I just butchered these idiots who couldn't fucking kill all of you.
What do you think Luke was out there slaying Mirrodral, or do you think he just like went to somewhere that Perrin had killed something and just chopped the head off and was like, "Oh, let's
B.
bring this back."
I think B.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think everyone
Yeah.
who just died, like he just took one head.
I mean, there were
Here?
3 Mirrodral that got killed.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
that's
he probably-
here, but I mean, like, assuming
He's
that's
all
not
looking
the
around
three.
like this, and then he like
Yeah.
cuts it off real quick and like sticks it in a bag.
One of the sentries is like, "Wait a minute."
That Lord Luke? No.
They're moving the bodies later, and he's like, "This one doesn't have a head. That's weird."
What happened here? Must have been a clean sweep. Good luck. It's probably hit by kerosene.
Yes, the magical.
So,
All right, so halfway through the day, parents
heads
very
back
tired.
to the wine spring with Fael.
Yeah.
But he's
And Aram getting spoon fed by some children.
Yeah, so
young
he's
ladies.
Those are Matt's sisters, right? Matt's sisters.
Yep, that's right. And Aram says, "Who owns these?" Which he's talking to the swords and parents.
He's talking about the spears and swords. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, those are for anybody." And he's like, "I'll take this one. Can I have it?" He's like, "What are you doing?"
Right at the time that Isla walks in, it's a heartbreaking chapter. Like, it's I so much I hate how Aram ends. At the same time, like I think his ending made sense. Like I don't have a problem with it narratively, but like he's a character who was just never right.
It's exactly what the Tinkers are worried about. He's the exact example of what they're worried about. He
is perfect.
You take up a sword, you become violent, you become like the rest of the world, and then you die.
Yeah,
and you don't accomplish much.
And then he said, and then Perrin goes, "Tinker with a sword" in his mind, and that was Min's vision about him, right?
Tinker with the sword. That was Min's vision, yes, and not from the beginning, I believe. Actually,
yeah, but he didn't pick up on that yet. But he does say the words out loud, so we're supposed to pick up on that.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. To me, I think the most heartbreaking thing is what Isla says, like, that you're lost to me and all that. Like what she says is almost an exact replica of what's said like 7 or 8 chapters ago when Rand is watching the history of the Aiel, when the first Jin Aiel picks up a spear, actually has already picked up a spear and killed someone on accident and then come back to the Jin. And
it's very reminiscent of that. Yeah.
You're lost. I had a son, but he's lost to me. Hide your face. That kind of
similarities to the Ruidian like flashbacks are pretty crazy.
Perfect. Which is interesting considering the fact that like this is actually a whole people who have turned their unintentionally, because this group is 3,000 years removed from when it happened, but they have already been a product of losing their religion, to quote REM, overrated band. They are a whoopsie on that already. So here we are echoing that.
What do you think about like when Aram says they killed my mother, and that's when Perrin like has flashbacks of his own parents' graves and stuff, and he's like, "Leave him alone. He has a right," like kind of thing.
I almost think that's cheapens.
Is he right or wrong? I mean, he's reacting emotionally, obviously.
I think he's right. Like anyone has the ability, just because you're born into religion, you can choose whatever you want to choose, right? Like that, just because you're X shouldn't mean that you therefore have to be. I think it cheapens it though, like in the way that he thinks almost like, "What, I wasn't there for my mom because Perrin did nothing wrong." Fuck me, Perrin. Oh no, I hate everything about that.
That's one of my main faults with season 1, by the way, is like I can't stand that so much because like Perrin even says in this chapter, I think he's like, it even sounded attractive to me at one time, like like the way of the leaf and like fun, but he never like really considers it. In the show, it's like he kind of had that same feeling, but then 2 episodes later, he was like following the way of the leaf inexplicably. Like he had just made this decision, never said it out loud, never was like no like kind of dialogue or anything to like get us there as viewers. It was just ridiculous. It was handled so poorly. Anyway, can you teach me the sword? Not me. I don't know how to use that thing. But go ask Tam Althor. Tell him I sent you.
Again, that almost makes me want to see if like what Rand would have thought of Aram. Like I don't know. Like it just feels like Aram's a character that probably should.
Oh yeah, because Rand having seen or any of the clan chiefs, I guess. Really? Or wise ones.
Yeah, just
anyone that knows the true history of the Aiel would be like, "Oh shit!"
It feels
I know
like
what that means.
Very, very significant thing to see
Well, actually, I guess
Tinker
Rand
was
would really be the only one that would react to the way that you're thinking, Jono, right? Because
No,
like
but
the Aiel would consider them lost ones anyway already. Like they're like not.
But I always feel like there's a little bit of head bullshit with that too, and we don't need to get into it like too much. But like, they are just like, who's more lost? The person who aspirationally still wants, to find the song. The song doesn't exist, but like still wants to adhere to the way of the leaf for the most part, or the people that, congratulations, avoid the sword. Like who's lost to like his own culture more?
Yeah, I feel like the Aiel are really the lost ones. The Tinker
the
are
only
closer
thing
to
that
the Gen Aiel.
The only difference is the fact that they can actually have their leaders go find out their history. Like, that's it. And that's really only something afforded to them because of...
Is it weird that the clan chiefs or the wise ones don't share their histories with the Tinkers as they let them to the waste or whatever?
I don't know. I think it's weird that
wouldn't
they
that
don't
be
at
something
least...
like you oral history passed down to them or something? Or
I think it is certainly at least a little weird that they don't at least kind of give a little more of a reprieve.
Of an explanation of like why we'd never harm you, and I don't know, something. I don't know.
Yeah, I do think that.
I guess it's hard enough for them to face and move on from, so therefore, like, they don't talk about that. They don't talk about Fight Club,
Yeah. They couldn't risk anybody spreading the word about it because you can only know about that if you go to Rudine. So, right?
No, that's interesting.
Didn't everyone immediately know that the Tinker with a sword was going to be Aram?
Probably.
I don't know. It could have been. I mean, he's one of the main named characters that he interacted with at the time. So, like,
but he hadn't been seen in several books. Like, why would anyone think that he's important?
It could have been. It could have been Rain. It could have been like Aram could have been murdered, and Rain could have. I'm just saying it could have been one of the other Tinkers that he interacted with.
Jogarth Hughes.
It could have been Jogarth Hughes.
My God.
We don't have enough history to know whether or not Jogarth Hughes does grab sword.
I do. Sometimes I fall down the stairs, though. I'm instantly protected.
Oh, God. Okay.
Anyway, so White Cloaks are coming.
They don't
from
share.
The north.
All right, Christian said the wise ones don't even share their own history with their own people. But I mean, like, they don't do that purposefully, though. But like the tWoTcast are like separate from them.
Yeah,
that's why I feel like I don't know.
It feels like you could at least explain, like, still say that they are people to be shunned, but maybe not quite as badly. Like, maybe not something like.
What should they tell them, Jono? What do you have in mind? Like, what should the clan chiefs or wise ones? What kind of little bit of tidbit of info
hey, they have their own history. Like, why do you have to call them the lost ones? Why do you have to call them like something that like is so anathema to the people of the Aiel that they have to be avoided?
Because every other Aiel would continue to think of them that way.
Yeah, but why?
So only the clan chiefs know the truth.
But their lifestyle is already so far apart from the Aiel anyway. Why not just say, hey, these are non-violent people. That's it. We because they're non-violent, we're not worried about them. As opposed to they're non-violent, traitorous pieces of fucking trash that need to be like flicked off from afar. Like that they disgust us to say like such a depth of like a character. Why? Like, what's gained?
Well,
there?
I mean, we kind of talked about this when we did the Ruidian bit, but
that
like,
sound right?
I was like, why? I mean, why do they not explain it to their own people a little bit more? Of like, why? Like, if I was growing up in Aiel and I was like, Dad, why can't I hold a sword? You know, like, why doesn't the clan chief like have classes and be like, well, we don't have swords because of this, and this is our shared history, and blah, blah, blah. Like, why don't they all know? Like, I know like part of that knowledge is what makes them the clan chief, or like accepting that, but like if you started giving that information to the rest of your people, I mean, maybe you would lose some of them, I guess, or whatever, or maybe they'd run off and be Tinkers. But like, I guess, yeah.
And then I think there's another issue where like the Aiel can all trace themselves back because they're so insular to obviously several people, right? I mean, that's part of like one of Rand's dream, or not Rand's dreams, one of Rand's conversation with Rourke is like, hey, did you see X, Y, and Z? And you're like, yeah. We actually all have those people in common. Whereas the tWoTcast don't, right? I mean, the tWoTcast one, sometimes they bring in random people from towns, they intermarry, they intermingle. Like there is none of that like shared like history from like with a capital H,
like
doesn't necessarily
genetics,
exist.
right?
Yeah. So I don't know.
All right,
maybe
white
that's
cloaks.
it.
Let's wrap this up.
Nope. I'm putting on my white cloak on my penis now. So they're coming from the north. Luke's already there, and it's our good friend Dane Bornhold, who's got himself our good friend Buyer, and Dane smells like brandy. Fuck yeah, this man's already getting trashed.
So he's furious, but I love how Bran kind of like looks to Perrin, and then he's like, and Perrin's like, yeah, it's okay, and he's like, all right, I'll handle this, and I'm just like, that's why you're there, Perrin.
Yeah. Well, also,
he's like, what do you mean the Two Rivers is closed? It sounds like Darkfriend shit. He's like, not exactly closed, just fuck off, and we're not gonna deal with your bullshit. Yeah. And I was just, I kind of love all the fucking, I don't know, hard rules he puts down for them here.
Bran over here kicks some fucking ass here. It boggles the mind the fact that the White Cloaks even have this level of like temerity to say, well, you guys are all evil. Like there's 500 dead Trollocs. Like
yeah,
that's like the most.
That's a
like,
ruse.
Obvious. Yeah, we're really good at this. Like really good at this. Like they are like the White Cloaks might be one of the most nonsensical kind of things that happen. And I don't know if that's a credit to or against Robert Jordan, because unfortunately this type of insanity does exist. But
there's
at the same time,
similarities with what's going on right now, and this scene in particular, I would say. Anyway, Bonehold points at Perrin. You're under arrest. And he's like, there will be no arrest, not without proof that we believe.
Yeah, without proof that we believe. And also our good friend,
and I just
Lord
love
Luke
it.
here.
He's like, he betrayed my father to his death at Falm, to Dark Friends, and he just like goes on this rant, and then he's like,
oh shit.
God damn, okay, buddy.
Yeah. And Luke, by the way, I do love him. Apparently, by the way, that Terran Ferry has been destroyed. We lost 50 white cloaks.
He goes, was Ordeath there? And he was like, just wondering. I was just wondering. He's like, do you know Ordeath? He's like, nah, here and there. I just heard of him.
I've heard he's an odious character who's actually a giant piece of shit. Again, it's if only their logic would prevail, because this feels like a time that we should all have a conversation about this very seemingly evil White Cloak character without any sort of who gives a fuck. Next topic, right? It's not worth the conversation.
Perrin's like, I didn't kill your father. That was the Shan-Chan. He's like, the Shan-Chan, that's fake news. Everyone
it literally is fake news.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like, what's happening? This conversation is literally America right now. He betrayed my father. They're eating the dogs. And he's like, no, they're not.
Let's calm it down on the politics, all right? But
all right.
But yes, it is fake news, though.
It's scarily familiar. That's all I'm saying. As I was reading this, I was like, Jesus Christ. This is weirdly timely. Perrin says, what if you hold off my arrest until after the Trollocs are done? He's like, fuck you, I'm not holding back. And he's like, you were lucky to get here, you asshole. Like, you think you're going to get to Watch Hill? You're going to die. He's like, if you have fighting men and they want to join us, great. Help us kill Trollocs. And then Bran gives them all the terms kind of thing. And Bonehold says, like, when it's done, like, you're mine kind of thing. Which Perrin fucking agrees to.
I don't hate him for agreeing to this. Like he's trying to save lives.
Well, I mean, he even says that. He's like, I don't want men fighting men when there's Trollocs coming. Like, that's just stupid. And he's not wrong.
It's again, like you said, it's not wrong, but at the same time, like I hate that this conversation has to happen. I hate the fact
no one
that
cared about Terrence Ferry. LOL.
I do love that.
They did gloss over that rule. He's like, Terrence Ferry's not even there anymore, and they're like, not that big of a loss.
It's Terrence Ferry. Like, do you know anyone from Terrence Ferry? Like, no. Somehow these dickheads have never gone 60,
Perrin
70
even
miles.
in his brain is like, most of these people haven't even gone that far.
Yeah.
He hadn't.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It is.
He's like, your own towns are being burned, and they're like, Watch Hill, Devon Ride, and they're like, no, Terrence Ferry. And like, Terrence Ferry. I don't care about that.
Next up, you're going to tell me people in Saudi are dead. Who gives a shit? They all have unibrows and dumb noses. Who gives?
Luke does like he's like, Luke, you don't object to the White Cloaks, and he's like, let them have the White Cloaks if that's what they want to do.
I love this line here, and I don't know if it means what I think it does, and it's not even a sex joke. Luke says, like, I know something of taking an enemy into your bosom. Obviously, yes, it's a tit fucking reference, but B, I think it's literally about what happened, you know, Isom, Luke, Slayer, and moving to, you know, because Slayer grew up in that insane village of the Evil Aiel, the Evale, right?
Yeah.
Evale, yeah, you liked that?
I like that. That's good.
Terrible pun.
We'll workshop it a little bit more.
Terrible portmanteau, I guess. But either way, like, I assume that's what that's about. Everyone loves a good old titty fucking. That is actually very, very correct.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
It's just true. It's just fact. It's just factual statement.
Yeah.
It's also just funny. You know. And if you're not making those noises, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna write that down. Write that down.
What's to stop one of his men from stabbing you?
Well, I guess armor.
Good idea, Taffy. Oh, is that part of the minutes?
Yeah.
It's for the newsletter.
Yeah. The newsletter's coming out on MySpace.com.
Yeah.
Oops. Send it across the bottom. What's to stop? I don't know. The same shit as ever. But, you know, there's...
Well, I mean, even parents like, fuck, maybe I do need fucking cards around me. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The answer is
anyway.
luck, hopefully.
Maybe I can get rid of that fucking banner, at least, you know?
I
Well, he
enjoyed
did
the
that
saga
because
of that banner.
Tam told them about the companions in Ilion.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, and how they were with the general, and how they went into like they were like the heated
pitched battles
soldiers or something like. And so
Yeah.
like, oh fuck yeah, that's us, dude. And we're like, and so they started going around. And they took the banner with them. He's like, okay,
Yeah.
right.
I love
Okay.
Tam.
again another character I really want more information from. Tam Althor, the guy who is introduced on page fucking 1.
It's almost like Tam's fucking with Perrin, like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
While Perrin's not around, he's like, this will be funny.
Yeah.
Hey guys, people they loved following leaders around with banners.
Yeah.
By the
good.
way, whenever a leader goes to the bathroom, 3 dudes come in.
They pour Gatorade over his head. It's really random.
But the Gatorade's made of kerosene and they light it on fire.
Is that tWoTcast
Leaders.
this week, Jono?
That's tWoTcast this week. If you have any comments or questions, best way to find us is on this show, because we're here every fucking week with Joe, Tommy, Taffy, Bennington, myself. And we're here every week. Also, you can find us on Twitter, Blue Sky, Gmail.
We don't ever say any of this stuff. What are you doing? tWoTcast theme song is brought to you by the one and only Taffy Bennington for our intro song. Legendary Andrew Bar of Time for the outro song, which I'll actually play this week. Thank you, guest host Taffy, for subbing in for Tommy for the foreseeable future.
Thank you.
R.I.P. to Tom.
I took notes. And
Unfortunately, Tom died in childbirth, we find out. On his own.
Too bad.
Someone
It was
else's
unrelated. He
childbirth.
was hit by a car. It was unrelated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
that
bad
car
too.
was giving birth to other cars. It was very strange.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
We should put that on the MySpace page. I'm going to write that down. Hit
How
by
many Coopers are
car
born?
giving birth to other cars.
That's his epitaph. Jonathan's is bulging from his jerkin or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Join us
cool.
next episode for more Wheel of Time, covering more of the Shadow Rising, part 13, chapters 46 through 48. I know there's some Tanchico in there. I hope there might be something else. I don't know what the
we'll
chapter
see.
breakdown is.
Whatever dickhead did it, hope he did well. I'm Jono. You listen to Joe.
There you go. You're supposed to say "suck brick, kid." Keep
brick,
changing
Joe.
filthy animals.
Good night, Taffy.
Good night.
Do you have a tagline you'd like?
No.
Now,
We'll have to come up. We gotta come up with something.
You guys can do that. I'll just
That
say
was the sound
thanks
of
for
a
having
taffy.
me. Goodbye, fellow fan club members. It was a great meeting. Everybody did a great job. Thank you for having me and letting me be here. And good night, you guys. Good
You're
night.
too
Oh, wait,
nice.
let me
I've
talk
been
to
so
Tat.
nice.
Good night, chat.
All
I
right.
see.
Keep the
you.
changeability animals.
Among the first to start, the tWoTcast was so smart to lovingly bash our favorite books. But that was long ago, and now they've grown the show, and now they got us in their hooks. Don't throw coins to these bastards, they need bars of gold at least. Someone please keep them afloat. Now let's listen as they once again ramble through a book. Let's get the fucking quote. One of them is Tom, but he is barely on. Sometimes he calls into the show. Another one is Jono. Is he their joker? Oh no. And Joe, is he the stupid one? Welcome to the tWoTcast. We will share our love for books and all our hate in every episode. We'll entertain you, make you laugh so hard you barely can stand up. That is the tWoTcast code.